the conference in receptions per game.
Yeah, plenty of players on the unavailable list for both teams. We'll get into that as the game progresses, but we are set to go here from Heinz Field. Ryan Johnson, toe meets leather, and we are underway. TJ Turner to receive it from the zone 6. Out to about the 25-yard line. That's where Virginia Tech will start. We'll get our first look at not only Hendon Hooker, who, as you said in the open, Eric, really loves to throw the football. We'll get a look at him a little bit later on, but we're going to get a chance to see Kenny Pickett here. And he missed a couple of games, and they were just not the same. They are a totally different team now with him back healthy.
Yeah, he is the leader of their team. He's the leader of this offense. He's such a crucial part, and without him, they truly did not have the firepower on offense.
Pickett to throw on first down, complete to Jacques Louis, who picks up about 6 yards, so a good pickup on first down. They're going to give him closer to 8 yards.
And this is a Virginia Tech secondary that has been depleted, and they will be put to the test by this Pitt receiving corps and by Kenny Pickett throughout the day.
Vincent Davis tries the center of that Virginia Tech defensive line and surges forward just enough to pick up a first down.
This Pitt running game today is going to need to be effective. They do not need to be the star of the show, but they do need to be effective in keeping this Virginia Tech defense honest and not just simply teeing off on the passer.
Fake to Davis. Pickett now way overshoots his intended receiver, Jacques Louis. Bring up second down and 10.
We've had some rain throughout the day here, Chris. It will be interesting to see as much as Pitt throws the football to see if that becomes a factor as the game goes on. Maybe a slick ball here and there, maybe the cause for that overthrow.
Yeah, a little bit of rain here over the last few hours. Nothing really heavy, but enough, to your point, just to make the field and the football a little bit slick. Turner on the receiving end, met immediately and brought down by number 22, Shamari Connor.
It's a great job by getting to 3rd and 4 here, and this is a situation where Kenny Pickett will be looking for number 3, Jordan Addison. He is not out there anymore. We're going to see who he tries to feature throughout the game.
Pickett has time, has a receiver. That's Turner again. Turns it upfield near midfield and picks up another first down. Talk about the receivers without Addison. How about the secondary? All year long, this Virginia Tech secondary has had issues with keeping healthy players on the field, keeping players off the COVID list. And even today, they've got another issue with that.
They do, and Jermaine Waller, their most talented cornerback that didn't opt out this year. He's been out for a number of games. I believe he only played in 1 game this year, but Caleb Farley, the number 2 cornerback of the draft, he opts out before the season even starts.
Pickett as a receiver again, methodically moving this team down the field. Trey Tipton on the receiving end there, and another first down.
Kenny Pickett looked sharp to start this game, and with this top target out, we were wondering how was Kenny Pickett going to look, and so far he has looked extremely sharp.
Very late flag coming out on the play.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 96, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Jerry Magdalena saw a referee today informing us Norrell Pollard guilty of the infraction and having a word with the coaching staff over on the sideline. That adds 15 yards to what was already a first down pitch and catch.
Yeah, that's a big penalty. Now puts them down to the 25-yard line. And we'll see. We got trips receivers. We have an empty set here. So Pitt is going to continue to air it out.
Virginia Tech brings just 4. He has his back. Who's split wide right. That's Vincent Davis. Now down to the 10-yard line, a first and goal for the Panthers.
We mentioned in the open that Kenny Pickett will throw the ball all over the entire field. He will put pressure on this Virginia Tech defense throughout the day. Every player on the field needs to be aware because he can make every single throw on the field.
Little movement on the offensive front for Pitt. Panthers will move back 5.
False start, offense, number 68, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Blake Zubovic, the guilty party there. This offensive line is really thin today, aren't they, you would?
They are. This Pitt offensive line is down 3 starters because
the unavailable list.
Yeah, I was figuring the exact words to say it in 2020.
Draw to Davis, has a lot of room in the middle. Hit hard at the 7, but rolls inside the 5. It'll bring up 3rd and goal. Ellen Tisdale there to make the stop.
This Pitt offense has had struggles this year because the run game hasn't been as effective. They've had struggles down near the goal line. Last week, they went to Nick Patty, their backup quarterback. Here, they keep Kenny Pickett in the game.
Back in motion, Pickett out of the corner. Jacques Louis could bring it in, and 4th down. This drive looks like it may stall with a field goal attempt. 3rd down, rather. Excuse me, the penalty moved them back, so it's 3rd down.
A designed rollout here by Kenny Pickett, and you eliminate half the field when you do that. When you have a talented passer like a Kenny Pickett, sometimes I believe just doing the straight drop back and putting pressure on the whole field is the best strategy in that situation.
Vincent Davis in the backfield with Pickett. Has time. Tried to hit Jacques Louis in the back corner, just overthrew him.
Yeah, he had him there, and you see Jacques Louis' face there. He knew he missed him. And Kenny Pickett is going to want that throw back. Your senior quarterback, he does not miss many throws like that. And coming across the back of the end zone, number 18, Jacques Louis, he had an opportunity for a touchdown there.
Pitt's drive on its opening possession stalls inside the red zone. Alex Kessman now to attempt a 22-yard field goal to put the Panthers up early. Kessman drives it through, and Pitt takes the opening kick, marches downfield. They put Panthers up 3-0 here early. Kessman with the kick. Khalil Herbert lets it go over his head. 25-yard line. Virginia Tech will start. Herbert, part of this rushing offense that Virginia Tech that is just daunting, and a big part of that too, as you said in the open, is Hooker, the quarterback. They provide a really nice dynamic duo, and now that Khalil Herbert is close to 100% anyways, back in the fold.
Yeah, it's great to see Khalil Herbert back in the starting lineup. If you're a Virginia Tech fan, he's first in the country in all-purpose yards per game, and he is so valuable to them.
Gets the carry here, big hold, bounces it outside, and picks up 6 on 1st down. Herbert, he got hurt in the opening kickoff in the Liberty game. We didn't see him the rest of that game. Had 8 carries last week against Miami, so he got back in. But you were at that game, right? And he just wasn't quite 100%.
He wasn't. He never opened up. And oftentimes, that's why you don't put the best player on your team returning kickoffs.
He's so dynamic, though. It's one of those things where you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. You want to have your best players on the field at all times. And he gets brought down here, falls forward for a couple. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 3. Phil Campbell on the stop from his linebacker position for the Panthers.
On 3rd and 3, I would not be surprised to see Virginia Tech keep this ball on the ground, some type of read game where Hendon Hooker could be featured in this as well. Last week, the Pittsburgh Panthers defense gave up 80 yards rushing to Jordan Travis of Florida State, the quarterback.
Good pass. Herbert make a man miss. He does, but he can't make 2 or 3. Outstanding play again from that linebacker spot. This time Chase Pine from his middle linebacker position, pursuing and making the stop.
It's a great open field tackle. Hendon Hooker almost looked like he was going to run it, and that's what they wanted to show Pitt. But Pitt is so fast, and they pursue the football so well defensively.
Oscar Bradburn now in the punt for the Hokies. T.J. Turner standing by with his ankles on his own 20. Good kick, and Turner forced to call for a fair catch, which he makes. Pitt picked up 3 in their first possession. Let's see what they can do in possession number 2. Panthers with the football when we come back.
From the Virginia Tech players throughout this week that they used some of their old Bud Foster schemes in last week's game. 4 sacks came from the defensive tackle position alone for the Hokies last week. They were able to apply a ton of pressure on De'Aaron King and just narrowly got beat by 1 point. But Justin Hamilton is in his first year replacing the legendary Bud Foster, the longest tenured assistant coach in all of college football. Moves on, retires this year after a phenomenal career, and one of his players that played for him, safety Justin Hamilton, takes over.
This is Jared Huey, who had 2.5 sacks last week alone in that game against Miami. Now back on the field. Turner drops a pass. It is a forward pass. The official indicates it's incomplete immediately. Turner didn't have very far to run anyway. It's defended well by Virginia Tech.
With Jordan Addison out this week at receiver, it looks like they're going to feature DJ Turner in the passing game a whole lot. He's a guy who can also play some running back for them. So they're going to try and get him the ball in a number of different ways and try and let him make plays with his legs after the catch.
Last play is under review to make sure it was a forward pass, and we'll take a quick break and let you know what the replay official decides on the other side. Pitt up 3 early.
Yesterday, it seemed to be changing minute by minute, hour by hour. It was bananas.
It's bow time.
Going to benefit Pitt that on the field
After
they ruled
further
it
review, the
incomplete.
ruling on the field stands as called. Second down.
Yeah, I think it was simply too tough to overturn, too close to call, and they kept with their original. And I've been impressed so far with this offensive line. Down 3 starters, how they've protected Kenny Pickett.
After the review, second down and 10 now for Pickett. Outside quickly to Turner. Connor with a nice job of breaking down and bringing Turner down after no gain.
So this sets up a 3rd and 10 here for the Pittsburgh Panthers. And I expect Justin Hamilton, the defensive coordinator for Virginia Tech, to dial up some type of pressure. We have not seen a whole lot of pressure from the Hokies defense, but last week they kept constant pressure on Miami, bringing blitzers.
And they come with pressure. Pickett gets rid of it, incomplete. Had his receiver. Ends up in and out of the hands of Jacques Louis. And it'll bring up 4th down. Defended by Armani Chapman. Getting a lot of playing time today with both Jermaine Waller and Dorian Strong unavailable.
Virginia Tech brings 6 defenders. Kenny Pickett does a great job of getting the ball out of his hands quickly. Puts an accurate ball in Jacques Louis. But as Chapman swipes across the receiver's hands, he's unable to keep it.
Kirk Christodoulou. Both punters Australian in this game. Christodoulou from Melbourne. They kick it away. It's a low line drive kick. Fair caught that time at the 44-yard line. And that's where Virginia Tech will take over. College basketball season tips off Wednesday. We'll have a triple header for you right here on the ACC network. At 4, the Battle of the Phils, Evansville, squaring off against Louisville, part of the Wade Houston Tip-Off Classic. Then number 16, North Carolina, hosts the College of Charleston. Will cap the night off with Gardner Webb at 9th-ranked Duke inside Cameron indoor. Good field position for Virginia Tech to start their second drive. 3 and out first time. Fake to Herbert. Hand was hit as he threw it up in the air. And Hooker was able to complete the pass to Trey Turner. Turner was one-on-one, and that might have benefited him in terms of having a lot of space to react to this pass.
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot believe he was able to make that adjustment. Heinz Field traditionally has pretty soft turf. The wetness, because of the rain, impacts that as well. And man, as you see that again, that is a great job of him adjusting.
First down, Herbert. Reverse ball on the ground, and Pitt's going to recover the fumble. The exchange between Herbert and Turner went wanting, and Pitt makes a huge play defensively to recover the football in Virginia Tech territory.
We got a flag down. We might get an excessive celebration, but as I mentioned, the footing here in Heinz Field.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, Pittsburgh, number 91, his first of the game. 15-yard penalty, first down Pitt.
Patrick Jones, the All-American candidate, the guilty party.
Just as I mentioned, how bad this footing it is. And I've played in Heinz Field on rainy days, and the footing can be terrible at times. Trey Turner, I'm sorry, he slips trying to come in for the reverse. It messes up the timing between him and Herbert, and the fumble ensues. And Patrick Jones, phenomenal player, makes the play.
Excessive celebration, drawing the flag.
Well, I'll say this, Patrick Jones is only about 8 months away from that being legal, because this guy is going to be starting on Sundays next year, and he will truly be able to do that open the bank maneuver he just pulled there.
Well, this month, it's a 15-yard penalty that drives Pitt back into their own territory. That's a floater, and it's going to be picked. And just like that, we go the other way. Jamari Connor, who's already had an outstanding game today, making a bunch of plays, picks off Pickett. And it's just a battle of turnovers right now.
And Pat Narduzzi's going to talk to Kenny Pickett about this one. He just simply throws it into the sinking corner, and Jamari Connor is sitting right there in the flat. He's trying to force the ball to Trey Tipton there. And that is an uncharacteristic mistake, especially coming off the turnover. You just not expect that from your senior quarterback, and Kenny Pickett. He just does not do stuff like that very often, Chris.
Fourth INT of the season for Pickett, and the exchange is pretty much where we left things off 2 plays ago. 1st and 10 for the Hokies from midfield. Fake to Herbert. Hooker to the outside, going downfield. Tried to hit Turner, but that was outstanding coverage by Marquez Williams.
We talked in the open about how this Pitt defense is going to try to force Hendon Hooker to make throws to the outside. They are going to play press man on the outside for a majority of this game. They put 8, 9 defenders in the box. That is a staple of a Pat Narduzzi defense to try and stop the run. If you could make those plays over the top, or if they're calling it tight with pass interference, then you can open up this Pitt defense.
Herbert dances his way to a pickup of about 4, 3rd and 6 for the Hokies.
3rd and 6, 3rd and long is generally when you're going to see what Pitt calls their Delta defense, and they get into a 3-down front, but they cannot get into it here because Virginia Tech gets on the line and hurries up.
Hooker looking to the sideline for the play. Takes the pitch, carries it himself, gets met, and he's going to be brought down just shy of that 1st down. Phil Campbell on the stop, about 2 yards shy of finding the stick. So now you're in a situation here. If you're Coach Fuente, offensive coordinator Brad Cornelson, what are you going to do? You going to go for it here?
Yeah, on 3rd and 6, I think they identified that they were going to run the ball and try and get to a 4th and manageable. They get to a 4th and 3 here. This will keep Pitt out of their pass rush situation. But as you look at it, right tackle Luke Tenuta is now playing left tackle. Christian Darrisaw, a top 18 player in this NFL draft, he's out. He did not practice all week with injury.
Hooker's going to keep it. Get to the line to Kane. I don't think he got there. Big push at the end, but the officials blew the play dead before he was able to get to that 40-yard line. And I think we're going to see a turnover on downs here.
Yeah, it's going to be really close, but as we see it from our angle, Chris, both the officials are a little bit off on their spot, but I think both of them are short of the line to gain, and that is a big stop after the bad Kenny Pickett interception for this Pitt defense. And as I just alluded to before that play, Chris, Christian Darrisaw, the left tackle for Virginia Tech, one of the best tackle prospects in this year's NFL draft. We were so looking forward to seeing the matchup between him and Patrick Jones, defensive end for Pitt. And talking to Virginia Tech's coaches, Christian Darrisaw is a warrior. He was unable to practice all week, but he tried to give it a go today. And it appears at this point, he's not going to be able to play today.
There's Coach Fuente talking to one of his assistants. The turnover on downs. Hamlin came in and Hooker in the hole for the stop. Now Pitt with A.J. Davis in a direct snap. The run here inside Virginia Tech territory. Flag on the play, though. Let's see what this call is all about.
For a Pitt offense that has struggled to run the football at times this year, maybe getting creative is the way to go. But oftentimes when you get in formations like that, sometimes your alignment can get off. Let's see if this is a legal formation.
Illegal shift, offense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Very similar, he would. Illegal shift offensively, so a successful running play on first down, brought back 5 yards. Pickett back now under center.
Yeah, we'll see if we see that wildcat package throughout the game, because that could be something to keep this Virginia Tech defensive line from simply pinning their ears back, simply going after Pickett every single play.
Vincent Davis now back in the game, tailback. Pickett quickly unloads to Turner. Bounces off a couple of tacklers, still on his feet. Inside of Virginia Tech territory. They'll mark him out at about the 48. That'll be a first down.
We just talked about DJ Turner and his run after the catch ability, and he puts it on display there, breaking tacklers. DJ Turner is only 5'9", not an ideal height for a wide receiver, but when you can make plays with your legs after this, you become extremely valuable for an offense.
He's built more like a running back at 5'9", 210. And he went up to get that one. Hard hit. What a catch. Throw was behind him. He went up to get it, absorbed the hit, and hung on.
They're finding a number of different ways to get the ball in DJ Turner's hands. We've seen swing passes. We've seen catches over the middle. We saw a quick out on the play before. They are trying to feature him a little bit more in that Jordan Addison role.
Now empty backfield for Pickett. Wants to move quickly. Quick pass out in the flat, picking up what he can. That's his tailback, Vinny Davis, out of the backfield. And we've seen him lined up as receiver a lot today.
Yeah, they're going to feature him as well. It's going to be by committee trying to replace a guy like Jordan Addison, who's second in the conference in receptions per game. We've seen running backs catch it. We've now seen 4 different receivers catch the ball.
Davis in the middle, had nowhere to go, tried to spin free, but brought down by Alan Tisdale at the line of scrimmage. Second down now, or third down rather, in about 5.
And Kenny Pickett is coming to the sideline here. Okay, he's going back in. I was wondering if we're going to see the wildcat package. One thing I've been super impressed with, although Kenny Pickett has been errant on a few throws today, he's getting the ball out quickly. And when you have 3 new offensive linemen in for this game, that is what's helping this offensive line out so far.
Whistles blow this play dead. Pitt wants to call a timeout. Timeout over.
Pitt, their first timeout of the half.
Coach Narduzzi and offensive coordinator Mark Whipple want to have a word with this offense on a crucial third down. Narduzzi made his bones on the defensive side of the football. E. Wood, most specifically, when you think about him and you think about his past, you think about the years he spent as the DC for Mark D'Antonio at Michigan State.
Yeah, their rush defense was phenomenal at Michigan State. He carries that over here to Pittsburgh as well.
8 seasons as the DC at Michigan State. Before that, Rhode Island, Cincinnati, defensive coordinator for the Bearcats as well, when they started to really come onto the scene as a national power. And of course, his years at Michigan State. In his 6th season here at Pitt. In his years, only Clemson and Miami have won more games than Pitt has.
In 04 to 06 at Cincinnati, I was playing against those defenses when I was as center for the Louisville Cardinals. And so I played against him 3 different times, and always a tough defense to prepare for.
Trying to get his offense to convert here on third down. Pickett has a pocket. Turner, can he get to the sticks? He does. Inside the 20, they are really utilizing the transfer from Maryland today.
DJ Turner again featuring his run after the catch ability, and he's got 5 receptions already on the day, and he just does a great job so far in this game of finding open space in the zone, making himself a viable target for Pickett.
Pickett with again an empty backfield. Virginia Tech shows pressure. They come with it. Pickett with a stiff arm stays alive. Pushed out of bounds by Jared Hewitt. Looks like he may have gotten right to the line of scrimmage.
It was a great stiff arm by Kenny Pickett, escaping Rayshard Ashby out of the pocket. Then he's pursued by Justice Reed, gets away from him, and he almost does my biggest pet peeve, which we'll see if they get credit for the sack, as a quarterback. Help your offensive line out, Chris. Get rid of that ball. You're outside the pocket. Do not take that sack there.
Pickett showing you he's 6'2", 220, and he can run it effectively when he has to. And right on cue, he puts his head down and picks up 8 yards.
Kenny Pickett's got 6 rushing touchdowns on the season. He is a threat to run the football. The problem is, against Boston College, he hurts his ankle. He's out 2 weeks. Last week he played heavily taped up with that ankle, and as we see him out on the field right now, still has that left ankle taped up.
Moved pretty good on that play, 3rd and 2. Now Virginia Tech comes in pressure on the outside, and Tayseer Mack just couldn't quite grab it. The pass was a little bit behind him. Now on 4th and 2, what's the decision here by Coach Narduzzi? They're going to kick it.
It looks like they're going to kick another field goal. And when you have a defense like Pitt has, you can rely on them. You do not feel like you need to score touchdowns on every drive. You simply don't want to turn the football over, and 3 points will work here.
30-yard attempt from Alex Kessman. Already 61 career field goals. That's the Pitt record. 62 as he splits the uprights. Pitt increases their lead. 6-0 here at Heinz Field.
Another good drive by the Panthers, but we'll see if these drives that are resulting in field goals end up costing him. It has at times this year. I was here for the NC State game on the call. They have a goal line stand in that game. They get stuffed at the 1-yard line, and then they end up losing by 1 point in that game. We'll see if this Pitt defense can remain dominant against this Virginia Tech offense, though.
Both these teams have had heartbreaking losses, haven't they? 4-4 on the year, and all things considered, with how difficult the time they've had with COVID and everything. Pretty darn good. You know, it's kind of an inflection point. Virginia Tech's gone to 27 straight bowl games. It still remains to be seen how the bowls are going to be chosen this year, but at 4-4, both these teams still have Clemson left on the schedules, so the schedule isn't easy here on out. This is a huge game for both these teams if they want to keep their thoughts of having a winning season alive.
Yeah, and if you look at Pittsburgh, they played 2 games without Kenny Pickett. They lose both those games. Their 2 games they've lost with Kenny Pickett, both by 1 point.
Kessman. Herbert from the goal line. He's going to give it a shot. Tries to get outside at the 15. Won't even get to the 20. Brought down at the 16. Larisha Harris, what do you got for us?
Well, we do want to take a moment to recognize the fact that today was senior night for the Panthers. And when we were talking to defensive coordinator Randy Bates, he told us that this was a special group, especially the seniors on the defensive side, because he has a special bond with them. Guys like DeMar Hamlin, Patrick Jones, Rashad Weaver, they were all there for him during a crucial time in his life when he was battling cancer in 2019. He said those guys were able to keep it in-house. They didn't even reveal anything until he was able to reveal to everyone that he was able to overcome cancer in December of 2019.
Yeah, it's a good point, Larisha, and it's interesting seeing the seniors here honored before the game. No parents out there on the field with them because of COVID concerns, so just the players and the coach. But good to see him be able to get out here on senior night anyways at the stadium and be honored as such.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if any of those seniors come back for another year, because everybody will be granted another year of eligibility. When we asked Pat Narduzzi if he would welcome back Kenny Pickett, he said if Kenny Pickett decides to come back, they'll throw a party. Not only will they accept him back, they will throw a party if he comes back.
Those seniors are welcome to come back if they want to, I'm sure. It's going to be interesting in the offseason, though, when you have to bring in recruits. How many can you give if you don't know how many of those seniors are going to want to come back? Holston on the carry for Virginia Tech. It's close to the first down. He's going to be a little bit shy. Holston's wearing number 25, by the way, the Frank Beamer number. Every game, a special team standout gets to wear number 25 for Virginia Tech. This week, it's Jalen Holston, who also doubles up as one of the tailbacks in this room.
Yeah, and Jalen Holston last week had 2 touchdowns against Miami and averaged 9 yards a carry. That likely contributed as well to him getting the honor of wearing number 25 jersey this week.
3rd down and less than a yard. Herndon, blockers in front of him, puts his head down. Gets pushed back out, but how much forward momentum and progress was he able to give? That's Quincy Patterson, my bad. Patterson coming in and taking over for Herndon. Big quarterback out of Chicago. They bring him in a lot of run-only situations, and in this particular case, he didn't get there.
Yeah, he decides to go away from Jalen Holston. Jalen Holston was leading up in a hole. He decides to go backside, and at that point, you have to be right if you're going to run away from your lead blocker. They bring in Quincy Patterson often at times because he's 6'4", 240.
Bradburn with the kick. Here's Turner. Flag down already. 40, 45. Just out of bounds at the 47. Let's check the marker. And another late flag comes in. Got all kinds of laundry to sort out here with Jerry Magalanis, our referee.
Pitt sideline was begging for a third penalty. They wanted to get a late hit along the sideline. Neither of those flags seem to be in the area of that. One's likely holding on the far side of the field. It'll be interesting to see what this one is on our side of the field.
Officials discussing all the laundry on the field. It may take them a while to sort that out. They didn't have another flag to throw.
And this Virginia Tech defense has had 2 long first quarter drives by Pitt all the way down to the red zone. Now, they were able to make stops, but they've been on the field for a lot of snaps. And then this Virginia Tech offense just goes 3 and out. This is a Virginia Tech defense that's going to have to step up here.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the return team. Illegal block in the back, number 38, is declined. That was during the return. During the kick, holding, number 14 is accepted. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick, first down.
The holding call against the Panthers will be accepted and move them back. Let's see if we can see it. Number 14. It was just off to the left of the screen. Marquez Williams.
Yeah, those penalties before the catch become so big because not only are you don't get that return yards and then the penalty, it's from wherever you toss the football. So this is a penalty that costs Pitt
about 27, yeah, about 22 yards. So it looks that way.
Yeah, that's an enormous penalty.
There you see the penalties right now affecting the Panthers more so than the Hokies. Pickett now from his own 25. Top of the week. Jet sweep. Banked down for 32. Pickup of 7 on first down. Justice Reed there to make the stop. Grand old man Justice Reed. Ran his 7th year of eligibility before the year started his career at Florida. Went to Youngstown State. Injured in 2016, 2017, 2018. You got to admire a guy like that. He loves football, man.
Absolutely. He definitely does. And I've been impressed so far with Mark Whipple's variety of play call. Jet sweep there. We've seen the wildcat. We've seen swing passes. And obviously the plays down the field.
Pickett is chucking it today. Turner complete for the first down.
Now 7 catches already in the first corner for DJ Turner. And DJ Turner comes into this game with only 21 catches on the entire season.
It's also 18 attempts from Pickett in the first quarter.
Yeah, we alluded that he'll throw it all over the field in the open, and it's coming to fruition here.
Final minute of that first quarter. Trying the run. They've been throwing it so much. Maybe this run is going to be at least somewhat viable. They've yet to have a 100-yard rusher on the year in Ewood, and they only average 104 yards per game on the ground.
Yeah, when they made the switch to Mark Whipple as offensive coordinator a year ago, that was a switch in philosophy. When you think Pittsburgh Panther defense or offense, you're generally thinking the run game, the defense. Well, when they switched to Mark Whipple, it became throw it all around the field.
That philosophy has worked so far today. Panthers up 6 after the first quarter.
90 yards, UVA leads this one 14-0. Back to you, my movie buff, Chris Cotter and Eric Wood.
Lavelle Davis Jr. What a young talent they have at Virginia. Looking forward to watching him and what he's going to do over the years. And look at some of the young talents. Pickett, NFL talent, put that one right on the money to Taysir Mack.
Kenny Pickett picks up in the second quarter right where he left off, completes a ball down the field, in cutting, Taysir Mack, and they brought Connor, the nickel, off the edge there. He couldn't get home in time, left him viable on the back end.
Pickett his 20th attempt on the day. He can't hit Turner, who's been his main target so far.
Continues to get the ball out of his hands extremely fast, goes back to DJ Turner, and we are going to see him featured, it appears, throughout this entire game.
Pressure up the middle, setting up the screen. Flag on the play as Davis couldn't corral him.
Offside, defense, number 41, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Jalen Griffin. Second down and 5 now for the Panthers. Jalen Griffin getting some playing time with Emmanuel Belmar.
There he is right there, lined up offsides.
Yeah.
They had a free one there. And they had blockers out in front, too. That's a big incompletion there. Just let him a little bit. Vincent Davis sat, and Kenny Pickett tried to lead him up the field a little bit.
Turner. Can he spin out of a tackle? Fumbles the football. Teammate was right there to fall on it. Divine Diablo came up playing some nickel today, some of that free safety spot. Comes up to make the stop and force the fumble. Mack was there, fortunately, for Turner to fall on him.
Divine Diablo is a guy that everybody likes to compare to former Virginia Tech great Cam Chancellor. And when you ask Diablo about it, he'll always say, man, that is high company to be compared to, and he's even honored by that. But it's because he's that linebacker safety hybrid type, can really run and fly around and make plays.
Third down and 5. Pickett. A little rollout, tried the back shoulder to Trey Tipton. Just couldn't quite connect. It's a good idea. Just Tipton couldn't squeeze it. Now another 4th down and medium here. Decision time in no man's land. We got a kicker, by the way, in Alex Kessman, who's got a ton of leg. Kicked a 58-yarder earlier this year to send the game against Boston College into overtime. Has the longest field goal in this stadium's history at 55 yards. This one from 52. Has enough leg, just inside the upright. 52 yards for Alex Kessman, and the lead is now 9.
Heinz Field is a tough place to kick in. He was going towards the closed end there, a little bit easier to kick there. 3rd field goal of the game today, 9-0 Pitt lead.
Heinz Field. Herbert takes a knee in the end zone for the touchback. Time for a Geico player spotlight. Let's look at Patrick Jones, the All-American defensive end for Pitt.
Patrick Jones already with a fumble recovery in this game on the season. He's got 8 sacks. That's good for 2nd in the country. He leads the ACC in sacks. He got 11 tackles for loss. That's good for number 5 in the ACC, and he is an absolute beast. Watch for him on 3rd down, though. They'll line him up all over the place. They'll stand him up, and we'll try and track that as the game goes on.
He and Rashad Weaver. Just think about that defensive line. Keyshawn Camp's been hurt much of the year. Throw in a Jalen Twyman if he decides not to opt out before the season begins. You're talking about maybe the best defensive line in the country.
Yeah, Jalen Twyman, he's rated as the number 7 defensive tackle in the draft. He had 10 sacks last year.
Hooker on 2nd down. There's a receiver wide open. Into Pitt territory goes Mitchell. I hope you can tell us how he got that wide open.
A miscommunication by this Pitt defense, and they load the box, and James Mitchell is going to slip out, and nobody runs with him. And James Mitchell, the former quarterback, slips through, and he's had a great year so far.
Former high school quarterback Justin Fuente was talking about that to us earlier in the year. Not to take anything away from Mitchell as a high school quarterback, but a much better tight end, he says, than he was a quarterback, and he showed it on that play, though. Robinson picks up about 6 yards on 1st down. Let's check in with Larisha.
Well, you guys are talking about James Mitchell, and he did tell me about his situation of being a former quarterback, but he credits being able to read the defense for that quarterback position, which is probably how he was able to get open there. But I also want to mention the fact that he told me during our conversation, even though he was limited the past couple of games, he still wanted to remain sharp. So staying fresh, being mentally sharp, those are some of his key focal points when he had downtime. Yeah,
Mitchell, Gallo, both back from injury. We do have tackle Tyler Bentley injured on that last play for Pitt. See him gingerly walking off. What happened here?
It's hard to see exactly. I think he's trying to avoid stepping on Jalen Holston's foot. And as you see right here, something happens because watch this reaction. I mean, he does not want to put any weight on that. And he goes to the ground hard, and he did not walk off looking good.
to Holston here, who bangs into that defense. Picks up 3. Quincy Patterson now in a quarterback for Virginia Tech. Sophomore out of Chicago, Illinois, as they'll look to move quickly on 3rd and 1. Again, Holston. This time he picks up the first down. Virginia Tech will move the chains.
And Hendon Hooker standing over by the coaching staff. It does not appear to be an injury situation. I believe they just want to get some work with Quincy Patterson in this game. And they also have backup running back Jalen Holston. And it's a different look for this Virginia Tech backfield.
Patterson quickly out, and the pass is low. Robinson couldn't handle it. Early in the year, Braxton Burmeister played for Virginia Tech as well. One man who transferred into the program, so there you see Hendon Hooker.
We're going to get a penalty here on Brock Hoffman. We'll see if anyone on Pitt retaliated
after the
as well.
play. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 76. 15-yard penalty. The down counts, 2nd down.
Brock Hoffman is a guy who finishes every single play, and this time he did not finish to the whistle, he finished through the whistle, and you can see him here at the center position, and he gets under the pads, and he is not going to let up. He's going to continue to drive him out of the screen here, and at the end of the play, he stays down on top of him, continues to drive him into the ground, and that's going to be a penalty all day. But this Virginia Tech offensive line, they feed off of the energy from their center.
Negative energy on that one was thwarting what at least looked like a positive drive for the Hokies. Herbert's got nowhere to go. It'll be 3rd down and a mile.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Chris. There's being smart about it as well. You want to lead, you want to set the tone up front, you want to play with passion, but you also got to be smart. And on 3rd and very long here for Virginia Tech, it'll be interesting to see if they try and get maybe half of it back, get in field goal range, and make this a 1-score game again. And it's interesting. It's still Hendon Hooker on the sideline.
Quincy Patterson directing this Virginia Tech offense. 3rd and 26. Pitt's showing pressure. Patterson will try and pick something up himself, and he gets maybe a yard on 3rd and 26.
Virginia Tech comes into this game with the #1 rushing offense in the ACC, number 7 in the country, and so far through this game, held to just 14 yards.
Their rushing defense numbers, Eric, are better than a Panther defense has had since 1981, giving up 79 a game. Bradburn with the kick, trying to pin Pitt deep. Nice job on special teams by the Hokies. It'll take over from their own 6. Panthers with the lead and the football here in just about an hour or so. Not putting a damper on the 5,500 or so fans that are here in attendance. Trying to run on 1st down, something they haven't done a whole lot in this game as A.J. Davis picks up a yard. College football playoff. Our AP top 10. Indiana put up a big-time fight today in Columbus before dropping that game to Ohio State.
I was a little worried about them early on. They go 3 and out to start the game, 2-play touchdown drive for Ohio State, but they fought hard in that game.
Fought hard on the road. That's a team, you know, they hadn't been there very often, so they could have whittled under the pressure in the clean sheet, but did not put themselves well. But Ohio State is for real. Turner again on the receiving end. Devin Taylor forcing him out. Just shy of the 1st down, so a big 3rd down for this Virginia Tech defense. They want to get the ball back to their offense so they can get something going here in this 1st half.
9th catch for DJ Turner so far.
Nine catches. We still have 9:21 left to go here in the 1st half.
It only came into the game with 21 on the season.
Jordan Addison unavailable for the Panthers, so Turner really getting a lot of run. And I don't think he got there. Look at the Virginia Tech sideline, exhorting their defense, and for good reason. Jared Hewitt and company in the middle of that Virginia Tech defensive line, just thwarting the Panthers, and A.J. Davis, their bigger back. Nothing doing.
Yeah, Justin Hamilton dials up the pressure again, and he brings Rayshard Ashby as well as Devon Diablo in there. Combine that with Jared Hewitt standing up the offensive line at the point of attack, and that leads to another stop. And so far in this game, both teams have struggled on third down. Pitt 2 for 7. Virginia Tech 1 for 5 on the day.
Christopher Dulu to kick from inside his own 5. Trey Turner back to receive this kick. Fair catch. That was 45. He gets run into a little bit by a Pitt player on the special teams, but no flag, no harm, no flag. Virginia Tech takes over. Here comes Hendon Hooker now back in the game after that last possession. Quincy Patterson ran this Virginia Tech offense.
Yeah, and as we see the graphic on the screen, this is a battle of the ACC's best and some of the country's best as well. This is a phenomenal matchup between the front, this offensive line for Virginia Tech, this defensive line for Pitt.
Strength on strength. Hooker feigned like he was going to run it. Now he pulls up the throw. Has Turner wide open inside the 5, and a touchdown for the Hokies. Well, I'm glad we showed that rushing graphic right before that bomb.
The rushing graphic sets up the pass because Hendon Hooker sells the run to the right. Hendon Hooker, who had just been spelled for Quincy Patterson on the last series, he rolls out to his right, fakes the quarterback sweep, and when you play with 8 to 9 defenders in the box like Pitt does, you're susceptible to these balls over the top. We'll see if this Virginia Tech running game gets on with a shot over the top like they just connected on.
Flag down on the try. We'll get the call first. Johnson was able to put it through the uprights. It looks like this will be against Pitt.
Offside. Defense number 15. Lined up in the neutral zone. Penalties declined. The try is good.
It was. The Hokies will decline the penalty. And just like that, Hooker comes back in the game and finds Turner. Our first touchdown of the game. Titan ball. 55-yard strike from Hendon Hooker to Trey Turner. An entirely new game here in Pittsburgh. Fair catch from DJ Turner. And Pitt will take over from their 25. Let's go back to the score.
On this last touchdown, watch DeMar Hamlin. He's going to be responsible for this deep third back here. But as the play gets going, as he sees Hendon Hooker roll out to his sides, it draws his eyes. There's no receivers on this right side of the screen, so he cannot get back to recover to Trey Turner, who is in pursuit by 2 Pitt defenders. And that is the way that you take the top off of a Pitt defense to get those guys out of the box so that you can get your run game going, what you want to get back to.
Pickett will roll. He'll run the football, but chose to throw it in a wise move. Jalen Barton, true freshman, getting playing time, and on the receiving end there.
The completion to Jalen Barton.
Just his second catch of the season. His first one was a 68-yard catch earlier in the season. That is just his second catch of the season. But with Jordan Addison out, a number of guys are going to touch the ball that don't get a lot of play usually.
The ruling on the field on the count is under further review.
Looks like Jerry Magalanis and our replay official Mark McEnany are going to discuss the spots on this and to see if he had a foot in bounds. We'll take a look at the replay as well. There's a look at Jalen Barton.
And I love what Mark Whipple's doing. When you have 3 offensive linemen out, you got to get rid of the ball fast. And then right there, we see a designed quarterback rollout. So you get Pickett on the move. As we look at the replay here, to me, unless he double catches it, unless he's bobbling it, which we can't see in the picture here, I don't see him. It looks like it's definitely a catch. And the telltale sign is you don't get a whole lot of reaction out of that Virginia Tech bench, even signaling that it would be no catch.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
So a quick review. Thank you for that. Mark and Jerry appreciate it. Bard appreciates it too. His second catch as a Pitt Panther. There's his left foot right there getting down. Looks like he may have even gotten 2, and the spot looks about right there on the 37. So we're good to go. outside. Diablo couldn't get there. Now he has an easy lane. Jacques Louis with a big gain.
Defensive coordinator for Virginia Tech, Justin Hamilton, when he dials up the pressure and fires a safety like that, if he does not get home in time, there's going to be open space on the back end of the defense, and Kenny Pickett makes him pay.
Panthers on the move again inside Virginia Tech territory. They've moved the football with efficiency today. They just haven't been able to put it in the end zone. More pressure coming. Pickett on his back foot. A little miscommunication with his receiver, and maybe a little bit of a hold, according to Jacques Louis, but they won't get a flag.
Virginia Tech is not going to sit back on its heels. They are going to continue to dial up the pressure, try and force negative plays for this Pitt offense, get them in third and long situations, and get them off the field.
Second down and 10 for Kenny Pickett.
Second down, 10. At the Tech 38.
They go to an empty set here. Twice today, we've seen them go to the running backs in these situations.
Hokies brings us forward. They do, because Vincent Davis is wide open out here. And a pickup of about 10 yards. He's right at the stick.
22, Vincent Davis.
Rion Murray was there to make the stop, but Davis was almost forgotten about, it seems like, in that play.
He was, and they play off coverage there, and a lot of times you'll put the running back on the outside of the field because you want to see what type of defense they're in. They had a cornerback over him, but he was 10 yards off. Then you know they're in zone defense.
Turner slides through a tackle to pick up extra yardage. First down.
Not only are we going to have to start tracking DJ Turner catches, we're also going to have to track his missed tackles. And I know he goes down with the first defender there, but he is so impressive with the ball in his hands.
At the 23.
That's 10 catches for Turner here in the first half. Pickett rolls the pocket. That's an open receiver. Another pickup of 8 yards on the play. Barton getting some run here, true freshman for the Panthers. This is similar to other drives we've seen in the first half for Pitt. They just haven't been able to score touchdowns. Quickly again to Turner. Has one man to beat, stays in bounds. Still in bounds inside the 5 and down to the 1. Well, had 2 more broken tackles.
I was going to call it 3, makes the same guy miss twice, though. So, yeah, 2 to 3. Forced missed tackles there, and he has been extremely impressive so far. And at some point, Virginia Tech is going to have to start playing tighter on the outside. Kenny Pickett is doing a great job of getting the ball quickly wherever they're giving him too much cushion with the corners.
Davis, he'll score easily. Now they found the end zone. Panthers retake the lead. Increase their lead.
What an answer by this Pitt offense. You give up the huge play, Hendon Hooker to Trey Turner, and all the momentum swings to Virginia Tech, and Pickett leads this team down the field on a methodical drive, taking what the defense gives him, and then Davis slams in the touchdown at the end.
Casman buries the try. 16-7 our score. Vincent Davis, his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. Certainly a salve for Pitt in their red zone woes.
Here's the last 2 plays of that drive. There's the missed tackle. There's the missed tackle. There's the 3rd one. That's where I was giving him credit for, Chris. And DJ Turner gets him all the way down there. And this is a great job by the offensive line. You see over on the right side of your screen, you have Matt Gonzalez.
Yeah, Gonsalves over
there. It's tough. We got all these backup offensive linemen playing, but you know what, Chris? They are playing with great effort so far in this game and doing an awesome job.
I definitely want to get into that with you, a former offensive lineman in the league for, what, 9 years in the NFL, and how difficult it is to cross-train a little bit. Because not only do you have second-teamers playing for Pitt, but you've got Gonsalves who, you know, maybe is more of a natural guard playing a tackle. You've got some other players that are forced to move around a little bit and cross-train. As Herbert takes it out on a nice return to 28.
And it's definitely not as easy as you think, Chris, and it's happening to both of these offensive lines in this game. There's been shuffling for both of them. And when you go from the right to the left side, you often think this guy plays tackle. What's the big difference? You move over to the left, but that's a totally different muscle memory that you have to create. You got to think of a guy like Luke Canuta, one of the best tackles in the ACC, was playing right tackle for all of this season. Now he's forced to bump over to the left side. That is a totally different, everything about the muscle memory that you create has to be changed in the league.
Showing some pressure, and they bring it. Picked up at first. Hooker now flushed out of the pocket. As a receiver, wide open. Robinson, 40, down inside the 35. Well, similarly to what we saw with Virginia Tech, if you're Pitt and you bring the pressure, you're not getting home, there's going to be somebody wide open on the back end, and it was Tavian Robinson on this play.
Yep, and Hendon Hooker avoids John Morgan in the pocket, number 6 for Pitt, and Tavian Robinson is down the field. Tavian Robinson makes a critical error in the Liberty game to lose them the game with the muff punt. Coming back these last couple weeks, making some big plays.
All kinds of flags down here on this play. Raheem Blackshear was the intended receiver. Let's check the laundry.
Pitt sideline was immediately contesting that call even before they got together to discuss it.
Illegal substitution defense. More than 11 players were on the field. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Now Virginia Tech marching down the field. The defense has played so well in the first quarter. Virginia Tech gave up some drives, holding them to field goals. They give up a touchdown on the last drive. And Virginia Tech, for their second drive in a row, able to move the ball down the field.
Quick Turner, incomplete. Virginia Tech team has had to move some offensive linemen around as well. Doug Nestor unavailable for this game, starting right guard. So Brian Hudson, who played a lot last year and has played a lot this year too, slides up to that spot. But you mentioned Darasaw not able to, gave it a go today but wasn't able to. So Canuta moving from right tackle to left tackle. I think it's taken him a little while to get going here. Second play in a row. Hendon Hooker trying to find Trey Turner, and they can't quite match it up.
Yeah, and you mentioned that. That definitely affects the run game. You talk about shuffling guys around. The run game, it requires a lot of continuity between the offensive linemen. There's a lot of communication that goes in, how you fit your blocks. And when you move those guys around, it can definitely affect the run game, especially when you're playing a front as talented as this Pitt defense. And we'll see if they get in their Delta package for the first time today, when you have guys moving around.
Third down and 5. Robinson is going to have to make a man miss. And does, stays on his feet and it bounds inside the 15, down close to the 10-yard line.
First-team freshman All-American as a punt returner last year, and here he shows some of the skills that allowed him to get that accolade last year. Simply kick it out to the flats. That eliminates this Pitt pass rush, leads the country in sacks. It eliminates that when you get the ball out of your hands that fast.
Play is blown dead before we even get started.
Before the snap, timeout was called by Pitt. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Coach Narduzzi and Randy Bates, defensive coordinator, going to talk things over before this fresh set of downs for Virginia Tech. Don't forget, folks, weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on the ACC Network, Packer and Durham, bringing the latest news and information from the ACC with special guests from around the world of sports. Packer and Durham, 7 o'clock every morning on the ACC Network. Pull up a chair. They haven't asked me to pull up a chair since, I can even tell you the last time I was on that show. I was in South Bend before a basketball game last January. You hear that, Wes? Wes isn't calling a game this week. His game got canceled. I know he's watching at home.
I know, and I saw
Give me
a
a shout,
picture of him.
Wes. Give me a shout.
Saw a picture of him earlier, enjoying a nice Bloody Mary, prepping for his Falcons.
That's right,
game
he's got
tomorrow.
Falcons tomorrow.
West Durham does not get many days off in this business doing football,
give him that.
basketball, everyday radio. I hope he's truly enjoying a day off today. And I'm not sure if Vicky appreciates him being home today or if she'd rather him be on the road still.
Or at the very least on the golf course. Like, I think it might be a nice day in Atlanta.
First and goal at the 10.
First down goal after the timeout. Holston Just tries to lean forward and pick up what he can. Give him about 3.
Virginia Tech featured Holston down in the tight red zone last week. We mentioned earlier he had 2 touchdowns. We'll see if they keep it on the ground here. Virginia Tech has a great red zone offense. They get very creative. Last year, James Mitchell, their tight end, 4 rushing touchdowns.
Hooker will take to Holston. Turner goes up to pick it up. And he scores. Turner's 2nd touchdown of the day. Here come the Hokies. Looked like Turner may have come up a little bit lame on that play, but what a job going up to pick up this Hooker pass.
This Pitt defense is going to force Hendon Hooker to beat him, and so far in these last 2 drives, he has, and he's done it with Trey Turner in back-to-back touchdown drives. The play action there gets the linebackers to bite up. It allows the free space, and Trey Turner and Hendon Hooker make this Pitt defense pay.
Well, we saw Hooker give way to Quincy Patterson for 1 possession earlier in this quarter, Eric, and since then, Hendon Hooker's come back in and led 2 scoring drives.
That may have lit a fire under him, Chris. You take a guy out that has as much pride as Hendon Hooker, and he comes back in. Now on the day, he's 8 for 11, 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. You know, last week, he plays a really good game against Miami, only 202 yards passing that entire game, generally getting it done with his legs, and now we see him today getting it done through the air.
That first scoring drive was a 1-play lightning strike, 55 yards to Trey Turner. This drive more methodical, but it ends in another Hooker to Turner connection.
Yeah, very hard play action. You could see the offensive lineman up front truly run blocking to get those linebackers to bite. And Trey Turner makes it a great grab, a contested catch, and he high points the ball. He goes up, and he's physical at the point of attack, and that was a very good catch by Trey Turner.
Yeah, you see Turner with 2 touchdown catches already on the day. He came in with just 1 on the season, so he's having an outstanding first half, even though it was slow going early for the Hokies offensively. They picked it up here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, we brought it up to Hendon Hooker yesterday. We said, hey, they're going to make you make throws to the outside. Who do you like? He said, I like all my guys. Well, so far, he likes Trey Turner a whole lot.
Whoa, liner off the toe of Brian Johnson. That's a mistake. This one goes out of bounds. And it'll be good starting field position for Kenny Pickett and the Pitt Panthers.
First down at the 35-yard line.
Virginia Tech took so much pride in their special teams over those years under Frank Beamer, and not a whole lot of critical errors like this throughout that time. Pitt's going to take over this drive at the 35-yard line. Look for them to keep the ball in the air with Kenny Pickett. They've done a great job so far. Wherever the corners are playing off coverage, Kenny Pickett's attacking them with the quick throws to the outside.
Pickett 20 of 30 already today, 197 yards, and he does have that 1 interception. As time checks underneath Davis. Davis about 4 or 5 yards on the play. Like Alan Tisdale was out there on coverage from his linebacker spot.
We're looking to take a shot down the field there. Nothing there. Good job by Kenny Pickett to just take what the defense gives him on the check down.
Again with time and has a receiver open inside the 40, 35, down to about the 33. Barden again. Look at this young man.
Extremely impressed the way this receiving corps has stepped up in the absence of Jordan Addison. Guys all over are making plays for their senior quarterback.
Addison on the unavailable today. We assume Jared Wayne, the Canadian, is also unavailable. Good coverage that time by Shamari Connor on DJ Turner.
Taking a shot down the field, keeping this defense honest. But Kenny Pickett showing something that he will need to do if he's going to play in the next level there. He climbs the pocket perfectly. And there's so much about Kenny Pickett's game that NFL GMs are going to absolutely love. And DJ Turner, 14 targets on the day so far, with still 2 minutes and 46 seconds left in this first half, Chris.
DJ Turner, a senior transfer from Maryland. Tipped it on the receiving end. Out of bounds, 6-yard pickup. Larissa, what do you got?
When you guys were talking about what Kenny Pickett brings to an NFL team, Eric, you talked about it. Well, when we were talking to Coach Pat Narduzzi, he basically said, like, Kenny Pickett is a drop-back quarterback, and he sits in the pocket. He reads the coverage well. He knows when to throw the ball. He even had compared him, rather, to Russell Wilson of the Seahawks.
Yeah, certainly wants to throw first, but can run if the opportunity presents itself. 6 rushing touchdowns on the year, but clearly prefers to use his God-given gift, and that's that right arm.
You know, look at this. So watch as this play develops. You're going to get bail technique, and no one gets to the flat, and we have him playing so far off here, and Kenny Pickett just doing a great job of taking what the defense is giving him out there.
Look at the time again. And again, these short passes, they're just methodically moving down the field. Trey Tipton again, he's just been on target. 8, 10 yards, pitch and catch.
Yeah, and Virginia Tech is depleted in the secondary. Caleb Farley, the #2 cornerback in the draft, he opts out before the season starts. Jermaine Waller, their next best cornerback, is down. True freshman Dorian Strong, who's had a good year so far, he's down in this game. So guys have had to move around, and you have a hard time if you're Justin Hamilton playing that old Bud Foster defense where you play press man and bring pressure the whole game. You have a hard time trusting these guys because they're just inexperienced on the back end.
2nd down and 3. Pressure up the middle. Pickett's going to have to run, and he just dives forward to pick up what he can. He's close to a 1st down, and it looks like by this near side official, he's going to mark him enough to pick up the 1st. You may have to measure this one, though.
You'll see right here up front, Jimmy Morrissey, the center, 2019 first-team All-ACC. He just gets edged by the defensive end, Jalen Griffin, on the tackle and stunt. It was able to force Kenny Pickett out of the pocket. Kenny Pickett showing another attribute that NFL scouts and GMs are going to like, his ability to escape the pocket, make plays with his legs when he needs to. And Jimmy Morrissey is a guy that when I talked to Dave Borberly, the offensive line coach for Pitt, he absolutely loved Jimmy Morrissey. What a great young man. He's a leader of this team, and we got the spot there. They did the measurement. It's going to be a 1st down Pitt, but a first-team All-ACC guy last year. He'll be up for it again this year. Would be surprised if he didn't win it. He's having another great year for the Panthers.
Yeah, big job for him today, as we mentioned, with players out, unavailable, having to move some offensive linemen around. Morrissey staying at that center spot, one of 14 captains, along with Kenny Pickett on the offense for this Pitt team. And a fresh set of downs. A.J. Davis now in motion to empty the backfield. Hokies come with pressure. Pickett spins out of it. Now he's got to get rid of it. Has a receiver open to the end zone, and a touchdown. Jalen Barden, his 1st touchdown as a member of the Pitt Panthers.
Kenny Pickett, the 11-yard toss to number 10, Jalen Barden.
Look at that celebration on the sideline. Smiles all around.
What a play by Kenny Pickett. They only have 5 blockers. Virginia Tech brings 6. Kenny Pickett able to make the extra defender miss. He rolls out to his left, throws back across his body, across the field. Oftentimes a no-no, Chris, for a quarterback.
Say, late and over the middle, isn't that what you're supposed to never do?
Unless they bring 6 defenders and you only got 5 defensive backs covering the whole field. I assume that if you're Kenny Pickett, you do that, then you have a little more confidence doing it.
23, Virginia Tech 14.
Pickett getting flushed out.
Yeah, with only 5 defenders on the back end, you're more confident making that move. And you have the true freshman, Jalen Barden, coming up big in this game, Chris. And he's doing a great job of finding open zones. And Kenny Pickett, it doesn't matter who's at receiver. His #1 target coming into this game, Jordan Addison, the guy who's 2nd in receptions per game, he's down. So what does Kenny Pickett do? Anybody is live on every play, and yes, he has gone to DJ Turner a whole lot in this game. He's already got 11 catches, but now coming into the game, Jalen Barden with 1 catch heading into the game, he's now got 5 on the day for the Panthers, 65 yards and a touchdown.
Barden playing in that slot, vacated by the absence of Jordan Addison, but Panther fan, you have to feel pretty good about what the 2 freshman receivers, Barden and Addison, Madison might be able to bring to you in the years to come.
You're right, and that's coming off the heels of a game last week where Pitt has 3 freshmen and sophomores get interceptions. Then you look at a game like today, and you got a true freshman making plays on the outside. Jordan Addison is down. He's such a productive receiver. And you're right, Chris. If you're the Pittsburgh Panthers, you got to love the trajectory of the skill position players on both sides of the ball.
Now this Virginia Tech offense that really got kicking into high gear here in this second quarter. They've got a minute and a half, 1:29 to be exact, to see what Hendon Hooker can do. Pressure now up the middle. Hooker as a receiver coming back to the football. Just a little bit too flat on that pass for Robinson to come back for it.
Randy Bates dials up pressure again. They bring 6 defenders, and Hendon Hooker is unable to step into the throw. That forces him to short arm the throw and just misses the open receiver down the field.
Number 25, second and 10.
Second down and 10. Hooker steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to try and run for it. And he just gets what he can before running out of bounds. 3rd down and 5. Make it 6 with the clock stopped. So a big play here for both sides. As Pitt would certainly like to get the football back and give Pickett one more chance. Coming up. Halftime report, Jordan Cornette, Eric McLean, E.J. Manuel. First half recap of our game here. Plus, they'll take a look at Liberty, who's been so impressive this year in their game against NC State. Look, Liberty trying to go 3-0 against the ACC. Wolfpack hoping to do something about that. Coming up a little bit later on this evening.
If you look, Todd Weaver standing up at linebacker. They get all around Hendon Hooker's feet. Big play on the outside there.
Good hit.
Complete and tackled right away by Corey Hamlin.
May have knocked the wind out of Caleb Smith. Well, Smith went down in a heat. Big hit by Hamlin.
And that's a legal hit. He doesn't lead with his helmet. He hits him with the shoulder. And it's just unfortunate at times. It's a physical game, but it's great to see Smith on his own, on his feet, walking off the field now. And Damar Hamlin is a physical safety. He is a great football player. 38 starts in his career.
4th and 1. You don't go for it here in your own territory from Virginia Tech, do you? Minute 6 left to go in this first half.
It looks like they are. Watch for a hard count here, though. They could be trying to draw this defensive line offsides.
We'll get a timeout by Pitt.
Timeout. Pittsburgh, their 2nd timeout of the half. 32nd timeout.
So if nothing else, Virginia Tech forces Coach Narduzzi to call a timeout and burn one of his 2 remaining. We've seen a lot of NFL talent on the field, Eric. You've talked about it ad nauseum and for good reason. Going to see a lot of the players you're seeing today play on Sundays next year in the years to come.
Yeah, we got 3 opt-outs between these teams, but we have 6 guys listed in Mel Kiper's top 10 that are playing in this game. Christian Darrisaw is trying to play tonight. He's the number 18 overall player, but we've seen James Mitchell make great plays. Kenny Pickett's having a phenomenal game. We mentioned Jimmy Morrissey a couple minutes ago, and then Jones and Weaver, these 2 defensive ends for Pitt. They are going to make an impact on this game. Patrick Jones already with a fumble recovery in this game. But so far, what Virginia Tech's been able to do, at least keeping these Pitt DNs honest, where they have to play the play action, has probably helped their offensive tackles tremendously in this game.
It's 4th down.
Hendon Hooker barking out the instructions to his team. 4th and 1. They will try and draw the Panthers offside. They got a flag. Let's see which direction it goes, though. Were they drawn offside?
False start, offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
They were. Luke Tenuta must have flinched.
It was a great job by Luke Tenuta trying, but as the Pitt defender flinched, he's allowed to flinch if he does not get into the neutral zone. And here, a little bit of movement along this Pitt defensive line, but not far enough back. Yeah, almost the critical error.
Right.
Yeah, almost the critical error. From that angle, you couldn't see truly how far he was lined up off the ball to get down in that stance and still have room. But we predicted that they might just be trying to draw him off sides. It cost them 5 yards, but they make Pitt burn their final timeout.
Turner back to return this punt. High kick. Will make the fair catch at his own 29-yard line. 53 seconds for Kenny Pickett and the Panthers to see what they can do before we take the halftime break.
And Pickett had the one bad interception in this first half, but he has played a great game so far. He's got 259 yards through the air. And when you have a senior quarterback, although you don't have any timeouts and you only have 53 seconds left in this half, you trust your senior quarterback to go try and make plays to get more points on the board in this game in this situation.
Without a timeout. Plenty of time for Pickett. He's going deep into double coverage. Just overshoots Jacques Louis. Covered nicely by Devin Taylor on that play. Breon Murray there as well for the Hokies.
And because of O-line issues, because you have 3 starters out, Pitt left in 7 blockers there, anticipating pressure. They didn't bring any, so they only had 3 receivers out on a route there. That's why you see the double coverage down the field.
Off the hands of DJ Turner, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Well, how about this, Chris? You have Virginia Tech with 3 timeouts left, so even if Pitt decides to run the ball here, this is going to be a situation where Virginia Tech can either A, try and go after the punt, try and block it, or they're going to get the ball back with 2 to 3 timeouts. And the way college football works, with the clock stopping after first downs, when you have timeouts, you can make that field really short, even if you're getting it back with just right around 30 seconds.
Showing a little bit of pressure. They do. It's delayed. So Pickett has some time. Now the pocket closes down around him, and he just overshoots his receiver, Taysir Mack. So to your point, they don't even have to use a timeout, and Pickett may have hurt his hand on that throw. Did he hit a helmet on the follow-through, maybe?
Yeah, it's probably his thumb. This often happens to quarterback as the pressure gets around his face. When he follows through, let's pay attention here to see if he bangs his thumb. And this can be really tough for quarterbacks. And that's exactly what we see right here on the screen. Kenny Pickett banged his thumb. He's holding it, and Pitt has to truly hope that there's no serious damage to that thumb. But on a game where the ball is wet and the field is wet, and you have grip issues, Chris, it could be an issue as the game goes on.
End over end kick, and Khalil Herbert can't come up to make the catch, so it's going to cost a few yards and a few seconds. Ball on the 22-yard line. That's where Hendon Hooker will take over. 26 seconds left to go in this first half. So how bold do you want to be if you're Coach Fuente and company in the Hokies?
I think you have to be careful here. Now you're down 2 scores. If there was any possible way of getting down the field and getting any points here, you would absolutely love it. I think you go something conservative. Maybe you dial up a screen. Maybe you have a draw to see if you can give yourself a little bit more room, bang your timeout, and then try and make a play down the field.
Robinson with the catch, short gain on first down. Clock stops at 20 seconds. Virginia Tech does call the timeout.
20 seconds left, and they're going to have to get down the field in a hurry. When you look at Virginia Tech's kicker, Brian Johnson, he's attempted 6 kicks on the year over 50 yards, his long as a 55-yarder. So you're looking at getting to Pitt's 38 to have him tie his long of his career. So that's a tall task, but it's worth a shot, especially down 2 scores at the end towards the end of this first half.
Justin Fuente having a word with his offense. Hooker's had a successful first half, despite the fact that he missed a series and part of another series He gave way to Quincy Patterson, 10 of 14, 190 yards, and a couple of touchdowns.
That's 1 yard over their season average for passing yards in a game, Chris. So those big plays have been extremely effective, and that's the risk reward of this Pitt's defense. It's very hard to run the ball against them, but if you're able to take the top off the defense, you can get some big plays.
As a team, they have 22 rushing yards in the first half of Virginia Tech. A team that runs the football for 263 a game coming in. Pressure coming on in the middle, and Hooker goes down.
Randy Bates dials up the pressure. They're able to get home. And when you dial up the pressure in a situation like that, you assume that they won't have the time to get the ball down the field the way they want to. And we will see Chase Pine is right here. He's going to come on the blitz. And you have 6 guys coming here, and someone's going to get home. And you have Cam Bright making the sack.
First sack of the day for the team that leads the country in sacks coming in. But it prevents Virginia Tech from getting anything going at the end of the first half. And we've reached our halftime with Coach Fuente and this Hokie team that couldn't get anything going offensively in the first quarter. At least they were able to put together a couple of drives in that second quarter and keep within striking distance of Kenny Pickett and the Pitt Panthers to go into the halftime with a 23-14 lead. You have to keep an eye on Pickett's numbers in the second half because he already has 259 yards passing, 26 of. Good look at Justin Fuente. Position he's not used to, having to throw the football to move the football, and it's something that the Hokies were able to do in that second quarter just to keep this a game. We're underway here in the second half, and Herbert just lets this ball roll through the back of the end zone. Virginia Tech with the football at their own 25. Let's check in with Larisha Harris.
Well, I was able to catch up with Virginia Tech head coach Justin Fuente after halftime, and he basically told me, you know, they made big plays in the passing game, but that's where they have the opportunity on offense. There are plays in the passing game, and they have to get them out. But he also said that they have to get off the field defensively, but then he went back to offense and said, you know, they have to give Hendon enough time to make them run it, just enough to keep them honest.
Yeah, that's something they were not able to do in that first half. Pressure now coming in. Herndon has Herbert out of the backfield. Well, that's one way to get the ball to your playmaker's hands. A little play action and find him for the first down pass.
Yeah, we'll see if they come back to the run here after continuing to open them up through the pass game. They escape Khalil Herbert. He shows his catching the ball ability out of the backfield as well.
And now Virginia Tech wants to keep Pitt off balance by moving at tempo. Into traffic, intercepted. Jason Pinnock stays in bounds. Watch out for the backside. And the tackle comes when Pinnock was able to hold on, and a big turnover for the Panthers here early in the second half.
Jason Pinnock with a monster play on the outside for this Pitt defense, and Hendon Hooker throws a one-on-one ball out to the outside. He goes to Tavian Robinson. He's only 5'10" on the outside. Generally, you see the receivers with a height advantage over these corners. This corner in Jason Pinnock is 6 foot, and when he throws the ball a touch high, Pinnock is able to make him pay.
Pinnock's second pick of the year, checking out what time it is. Time to make a play.
Oftentimes, after a turnover in plus territory, you'll see a shot from the offense down the field.
Double pass, might have it. A little high for Pickett. He's able to corral, but no open receiver. What can he do running it? Oh, and he could not escape the tackle that time, because if he did, Amari Barno was able to get the shoestring. He had a ton of blockers on that side of the field for him.
And he had Taysir Mack down the field one-on-one. I would have liked him to see him take a shot down the field, let his guy try and make a play down the field, avoid the loss. But as I said, you'll generally see a shot play. There we had the pitch to the running back to Pickett, and they were looking to make him pay.
It ends up a 2-yard loss. Pickett again, quickly. Jacques Louis with the catch. Held up before he can get the first down. The receivers have to be loving this offense tonight. On every play, they're getting the ball thrown at them with an opportunity to make a big play.
They are. Pickett's getting rid of the ball extremely fast. There you had a double slant concept to the boundary side of the field. Pickett just simply makes the correct read again.
Pressure. Pickett can't escape it. Right off the edge, a fantastic job by Justice Reed.
Great job by Justice Reed here, staying home. And I believe as he sees Shockey Jacques Louise come back and not try and block him, that was an indicator that it was going to be a pass play, that Jacques Louise was going out to the flat. He continues up the field, is able to make the sack, make this a much tougher field goal. Now we're looking at a 53-yarder.
Kessman already hit from 52. Now Pitt has got to hustle a lineman on to get all 11 players on the field. Straight up the middle if it has the distance, and it does. Kessman hits again from 50 plus. On senior night too, the senior from Clarkston, Michigan.
4 for 4 on the day, and what a kick. And now he's the most accurate kicker from over 50 yards of all, with at least 15 attempts. He is having an absolutely phenomenal night.
Kessman celebrating with his teammates early. He knew it like a home run hitter right at the plate, right? As soon as you make contact.
We talked earlier, kickers struggle in this stadium kicking the football. I know when you kick here for a number of years, and when you're a fifth-year senior like Alex Kessman, you've gotten the reps kicking in the stadium where you get comfortable, but it's a windy stadium. It's tough footing. It's sitting right on these rivers, and he's done a phenomenal job tonight.
He's also done a fantastic job of keeping the ball away from Khalil Herbert on these kick returns. On the former footprint of Three Rivers Stadium here at Heinz Field. Three Rivers because there are three rivers.
Name them.
The confluence of the Ohio, the Monongahela, and the Allegheny.
That was impressive.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was going to take me 15 tries to get Monongahela right. It did earlier in the year. Okay. Bounces it outside. Gets 7 yards, runs out of bounds.
Design quarterback draw, you get your extra blocker when you run with Hooker. And they had Khalil Herbert out ahead of him, run blocking there. And that picks up that extra Pitt defender that they will put in the box. Maybe they feature Hendon Hooker running the ball more in the second half to try and get this ground game going.
To reiterate, as we've said before on the night, Virginia Tech averages 263 yards rushing a game. Today they have 21. Speaking of 21, he's going to try here. And a lot of room with a blocker in front of him. 50-yard line. 45, still on his feet. Dragging a tackler down to the 37.
This offensive line is finally able to spring Khalil Herbert. And as we'll see on the replay here, he's going across the left side of that offensive line. Enormous hole. You got Brock Hoffman out in space there, getting down the field there.
To Herbert. Now the pass incomplete. Raheem Blackshear, transfer from Rutgers, couldn't squeeze it.
Raheem Blackshear was who they were looking at in fall camp. They were thinking he was going to be their feature back. Justin Fuente talks about how he might be the best all-around football player on the team. Well, now he's playing a lot of receiver because you saw the emergence of Khalil Herbert throughout the first part of the season.
Yeah, Blackshear was a real dual threat for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Now they're bringing him out of the backfield on a lot of plays. Herbert with the carry. Another big run. Inside the 30, inside the 20. Out of bounds at the 17, so he's gotten 2 big chunk runs on this drive.
And as the game goes on, an offensive line will start to get in the flow of a game. And throughout the first half, they could not. They weren't getting enough consistent running plays to get their feet wet, to get going against this talented Pitt D-line.
Hooker wants to go fast. Now he keeps it. Has a blocker in front. Inside the 5, down to the 4. trying to keep this Pitt defense on their heels, and an injury by a Panther may slow this drive for the Hokies. That looks like Tyler Bentley again, who injured his leg in the first half. Good to see him back on, but back down with an injury. We'll take a quick break, and I'm that they're 7th in the nation in rushing the football coming into this game.
Yeah, now we got Khalil Herbert on the day up to a 10 yards per carry average. On the year, he's #1 in the ACC, #3 in the country in average yards per carry at 8.2 yards.
1st and goal for the Hokies. Give to Holston. Just tries to power his way into the end zone. Brought down at about the 2.
At the end of that play, Brian Hudson finishing the guy on the pile, taking the lead of his center I mentioned earlier, Brock Hoffman. We're going to get a hurry up here by the Hokies.
Holston met in the hole that time. Big hit. Hamlin was in on it, as was Phil Campbell.
And this is a Pitt defense that is playing tonight without Servassier Dennis. Servassier Dennis is #1 in the ACC, #2 in the country in tackles for loss. He's also the leading tackler. It's a big loss for this defense.
3rd down and goal. Blackshear now in the backfield. The fake to him. Hooker trying to get it to Herbert and was dislodged. Herbert may not have been able to squeeze it anyway. But the Panthers made sure of that. Hallett was there to dislodge the football and prevent a score.
Rashad Weaver does a great job putting pressure on him, makes him make a quick throw there, and then you have Eric Hallett making the play to dislodge the football. 4th and 1. The Hokies are going to go for it. I would bet Hendon Hooker keeps the ball in his hands here with Khalil Herbert running in front of him blocking.
He does. Gets to the end zone. Can he get in? The way the officials are marking it, it doesn't look like he got in.
They're going to see where this ball ends up here. But where the ref's feet are stopped, it is short of the goal line. That would be a huge stand by this Pitt defense.
Unless they change their calls, it's down. Pitt has held on the play. What a stand by the Panthers.
It is, and as we got to see the replay here in the stadium, we'll get to see here in a second, Hendon Hooker, I believe, loses the ball at some point here, and when he loses the ball, he's not able to make that second effort with the football. Brock Hoffman actually ends up, see, there's the ball loose. Brock Hoffman actually somehow ends up with the football. Big stand, huge stand. After giving up more rushing yards on these last 2 drives, they go with the entire first half. Pitt's defense comes up with the stand there.
The field that the runner was short of the line to gain, correction short of the goal line, is under further review.
Our replay official Mark McEnany is going to take another look at it, but at least from the angles that we just saw, Eric, I certainly can't see any definitive evidence that that ball did cross the plane. We'll get the call on the other side. One more look at it. 4th and goal. Hendon Hooker crashes into that line and ruled on the field that he did not.
I'll say this, it's 4th and 1.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called.
So it's 4th and 1. The risk on 3rd down by reaching the ball up and trying to go over the top and get in the goal line is you could fumble. On 4th and 1, if you don't get it, then they're going to get the ball anyways. Reach that ball out and try and make a play to get it over the top. He keeps it tight to his body the whole time, doesn't get the ball in the end zone.
1st down for the Panthers from their own 1. Pressure coming. And Pickett is able to get rid of it. And now we get a late flag, very late flag on the play.
Pressure coming right up the middle. Kenny Pickett gets up there holding his elbow. Remember, dinged his thumb in the first half as well.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 28, was covered up. Penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Obviously, half the distance to the goal would be like an inch.
Right. And so Pitt is inside their 1-yard line. And the way offenses work in college now, you don't run hardly anything under center. So now you're getting shotgun down here. Generally, this would always be a time where maybe you get a QB sneak, buy yourself a couple yards here, give yourself some space. I would expect Pitt to try and use a hard count to try and draw this Virginia Tech defense offsides here.
Got A.J. Davis in the backfield, a little bit of a bigger back for the Panthers. Quick pass out. Turner. And that's going to do more than just get him breathing. We might even pick up a 1st down. It does.
First down Pittsburgh, and that's exactly what you want there. And when you're an offense, your first goal in a coming out situation, so inside your 5-yard line, the first thing you have to do is get a first down so you're not punting from within your own end zone. And Kenny Pickett here passes out of, I believe that was an RPO, a true RPO. One of my biggest pet peeves is everyone wants to call everything an RPO now. That truly was the offensive line was run blocking ahead of him.
Davis, big run here. Second level still on his feet. So a team that can't run the football, the Pitt Panthers, from their own 1-yard line, you think this could be trouble. They get a pass, quick pass out to Turner to get him out of trouble.
We get some of the big guys pulling, 2 offensive linemen pulling here, and we got him coming around, and look at this hole. I mean, that is a monster hole. Gibbs Zubovic tons of space to get up in that hole and get a block.
So now breathing room for Pickett and time on this play. Going deep, has Turner open. Got him at the 20. Cuts back inside to the 10, inside the 5 to the goal line. He scores! DJ Turner is having an unbelievable game in his final game here at Heinz Field as a member of the Pitt Panthers.
And a guy who might be playing on Sundays in a few months as well. We might be getting another excessive celebration, but here the offensive line for Pittsburgh. Out 3 starters tonight. They just opened up that huge hole in the running play. Give Pickett enough time to get all the way down the field to DJ Turner, and DJ Turner does it with his legs after the catch again. He has been phenomenal after the catch for the Panthers tonight.
13 catches, 161 yards, and that 64-yard touchdown.
Did they pick up the flag for excessive celebration?
We have not heard from Jerry Magalanis. Maybe we'll hear it here. Just waiting on the call here from our referee tonight, Jerry Magalanis.
What a night DJ Turner's having. We were so worried for this Pitt offense, for Kenny Pickett on his senior night, out his number 1
ruling
receiver.
on the field is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 28 and number 7, both on Pitt. That's their each first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game. 1 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Kai Wright and DJ Turner, little excessive celebration. I don't really see that.
No, and they made an emphasis on this in college football a few years ago, and they're going to police it, but that's guys just having fun. Nothing inappropriate about their actions there.
DAT is good from Kessman, who's also having an unbelievable night in his final game here in Heinz Field. Got a lot of basketball. College basketball, yes. Coming up, Evansville and Louisville on Wednesday, 4 o'clock. Forget about going to work.
I might be at that one.
You might? Hometown action?
Oh, yeah.
At KFC Yum Center. 4 o'clock, then 6 o'clock, Charleston, North Carolina. 8 o'clock, Gardner-Webb and Duke from Cameron Indoor. All those games Wednesday on the ACC network. It's going to be interesting to watch. That Duke came in an empty Cameron Indoor Stadium. No fans.
Will be.
Yeah.
That will be.
It'll be wild. It's all part of everything we do this year is wild.
It is. I got the opportunity to go to 2 games at Cameron Indoor, and what a special place that is. I believe the plan right now at the KFC Yum Center in Louisville, Kentucky, I believe it's 20%. We'll put them around 4,000. We'll see if that stands with the latest COVID outbreaks going around the country.
Changes all the time, and of course the emphasis is on safety. And we've been able to have, the fact that we've been able to get this far now in football is phenomenal. Still have a ways to go, and certainly tip our cap to everybody who's doing their best. The COVID protocols and the testing. Herbert makes something happen here, and he gets out to the 35 after the unsportsmanlike penalty. So good field position for Virginia Tech.
And Herbert was able to get it going on the ground on that last drive. Gets him out to the 35-yard line here. But coming off the hamstring injury, Chris, I still don't see him opening up even on that kick return, he's looking to make guys miss, and he's just a little bit more methodical than you usually see Khalil Herbert being.
Let's see Herbert here bouncing it outside. Takes on a defensive back. Picks up 6, almost 7 yards on first down.
Virginia Tech now getting into some read option game where they're putting these defensive ends for Pittsburgh in a bind, whether they go after Hendon Hooker, the quarterback, whether they stay with Khalil Herbert. There they had a long exchange. He hands it off. The defensive end is unable to make the play there.
Second down and 4. Pressure on the edge. Here's Herbert has blockers in front of him. Utilizes them into Pitt territory. Big O number 60. Giving them all kinds of room to run there on the right side. Look at Silas Janzi.
Taken out of bounds finally. Inside.
Providing cover for Khalil Herbert.
Oh, I couldn't ask for a replay here fast enough. They run a jet sweep fake across, bring all the Pitt defenders' eyes to the right side of the defense, and we got number 60 up front, Silas Janzi, and he is filling in tonight for Christian Darrisaw.
Look at him picking him up, putting him down.
He puts down one, then he gets all the way down the field getting more.
Welcome back to ACC Network Football presented by Geico. Pitt up 33-14. Virginia Tech driving again in a game that certainly feels closer than that score would indicate, and that's probably because Virginia Tech failed on a 4th and goal from the 1 on their last drive, and Pitt went 99 yards for the score. Hooker just bad pass out to Blackshear, rather, who couldn't come up with it.
Hendon Hooker's having a great night tonight. He's got 246 through the air, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, but he's been off on his swing passes, those screens to the outside, and that's what keeps a defense honest, because you make them stretch sideline to sideline.
2nd down and 10 on this drive. 2nd drive in a row that the Hokies have been able to move the football into the red zone. Holston just cannot get outside. Great pursuit by the Pitt defense.
And this is a defense that leads the country in tackles for loss, and they get one there, and you'll see Cam Bright pursue, and he gets right past Lacita Smith there. He's able to make the play in the backfield. Great job one-on-one against Jalen Holston.
Cam Bright came up a little bit gimpy on that tackle. He's down on one knee right now. He's favoring that right leg. Good to see him come off under his own power. He has a word with Coach Narduzzi.
And this Pitt defense has given up more yards than they're used to giving up on the day. Virginia Tech with 93 rushing yards on the day. That's over the average Pitt gives up. They got 251 through the air. That's over the average that Pitt gives up, but they only have 14 points to show for it. And that's with these red zone stops. And when you stop a team like they did on the 1-yard line, then you take over and have a 99-yard drive on the heels of it. That is a backbreaker for a team.
And 2 turnovers by the Hokies as well. 1 pick, 1 fumble, contributing to that as well, as the defense is just bending but certainly not breaking. 3rd down and 12.
And watch this here. Here's Rashad Weaver. He's standing up. He's generally a defensive end, and he is the 5th-rated defensive end prospect in this draft. He's an absolute beast. Watch him rush here.
Hooker going to the end zone, and double coverage tipped up in the air and incomplete. Mitchell, the tight end, was split wide, and he was covered beautifully that time. No shot.
And because of the pressure, Hendon Hooker was required to make a very quick decision in the pocket. And this offensive line does a good job giving him time. He takes a shot down the field, though, and it just the throw's not there. There's nothing there. This is a great job by Randy Bates and his defense.
Brian Johnson now from 39 yards out. Kick is up, and he pushes it. Johnson, very reliable kicker coming into this game, 13 of 14 from inside of 50 yards, and he pushes that one wide right.
And that is a crucial miss, because it would have made it a 2-score game. They would have only been down 16 with a make there. Now the pressure is on this Hokie defense. 7 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. They need a stop here to keep the Hokies in the game.
Let's take a look at our New York Life Drive recap. Last time Pitt had the football from their own 1, it ended up with 6.
Yeah, it started with DJ Turner getting it started, getting the first down, and it ends with DJ Turner as well. We had this awesome play with 2 pullers by the running backs, and DJ Turner caps this one off, gets to an opening in the secondary of the Hokies and makes it pay.
Shocky Jock Louis on the jet sweep. Good yardage on first down. That's a back-breaking kind of a drive. Virginia Tech, even if they don't get it on that 4th and goal, you know they had to be thinking, get a defensive stop here, we'll get the ball back in good field position to be able to score then. And it ends up, instead of them getting 6, it's Pitt getting 6 on the other end.
The percentages say when a drive starts within the 10-yard line for an offense, the defensive team will actually be the next team to score. That's what the percentages say. Pitt threw the percentages out the window and let DJ Turner do the rest.
Davis to the outside, 40, 45, and out of bounds at the 46. First down for Pitt.
A lot of moving parts prior to this play. They have 2 tight ends in the game. They flip them over to the other side of the screen, and then you have the jet sweep motion that's going to come across the formation, and then you have the tight end coming back. What that does is it makes it extremely tough for those linebackers. As you saw, an experienced, great player in Rayshard Ashby just get lost in the shuffle and allowed Vincent Davis to take off for a great gain on the ground.
Pickett has all kinds of time. Steps up. Tipped it on the receiving end here. Another first down. More methodical passing game from this Pitt Panther offense.
Yeah, whenever Kenny Pickett sees bail technique by the corners, and those cornerbacks are giving too much cushion on the outside, Kenny Pickett will just continue to take those. And then, as we saw in the last drive, if you bite, he'll take it over the top.
Takes the delay to Davis and keeps it himself. Picked up 4 yards. I'm not sure whether that was a design or not. It looked like Davis may not have been expecting the handoff, and Pickett just kept it himself.
Yeah, obvious sign of frustration on Kenny Pickett's face there, and an obvious miscommunication in the backfield. And then they had Shamari Connor, the nickel, number 22 for Virginia Tech, flying off of the slot, and that's why Kenny Pickett just simply got upfield, saved the play, gets them 3 yards on the ground.
Keeps that clock rolling for 5 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter.
More talking in the backfield as he shovels it around.
Out to Turner again. Gain on 2nd down. He may be just about a yard shy. No, he did pick up the first down. Officials indicating they'll move the sticks. Larisha Harris has more on Turner.
But you guys have been talking about how he has been having such a phenomenal night. Well, I asked him, you know, what was your focal point for improvement this week? And he said overall just his knowledge of football so he can understand the game better. He changed the way he watched film. He spent more time studying film as well because he said he wanted to be able to analyze various defenses, and I think he's done a job well done at that today.
Yeah, he's obviously studied a lot of film this past week because he knew exactly what he was getting into in this game. Davis, big hole on the left side. On first down, a chunky yardage gain of about 6.
And they go back to the play that they just had the long gain on with the jet sweep coming across, with the tight end coming back across the formation. It is very tough on those linebackers, I mentioned before, to fit your gaps appropriately there.
2nd down and 5. Pressure picked up over the middle, incomplete. Flag on the play. On the far side, right at the line of scrimmage. Looks like we might have an illegal shift against the Pitt Panthers.
Illegal shift, offense. Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Big 3rd down here for this Virginia Tech defense.
And you always have Alex Kessman to save the day if you don't get it. But if you got a 3rd and 5 here, expect Justin Hamilton to dial up the pressure again for Virginia Tech. Kenny Pickett's going to have to get rid of this ball quickly. I mean, does he look to DJ Turner again? Is that too easy to say here?
Turner has 14 catches, 168 yards.
And here he is in the slot right here for those at home if you want to watch him.
3rd and 5. Now the pressure comes from the edge. Pickett has Davis, makes a man miss. Spins inside the 20, still on his feet, and he'll pick up the first down.
Running backs doing a great job for Pitt tonight, catching the football out of the backfield, staying alive, being viable targets down the field. It was good protection. Late, you have pressure. Pickett does a great job of avoiding the rush, making a play down the field. Good first down, and now you have this clock rolling again with a 3-score lead. They're going to start milking this clock with 18 minutes to go.
It's Davis's 5th catch of the year, of the game now. He's been a good safety valve for Pickett. Now Pickett's going to call a timeout. Didn't like what he saw on the other side. Better to call a timeout and get it right at this point in time in the game.
Down to 1 second on the play clock.
This is a 30-second timeout.
They just took their time too much getting up to the line of scrimmage.
Hey, tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern on the Huddle, Jordan Cornette, Eric McLean, E.J. Manuel, and the coach Mark Ricks breaking down all of today's ACC games right here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. Found out this morning that Clemson and Florida State was postponed. Getting down to crunch time here. You know, early in the year, if you had to postpone a game, you could look at the 12th of December, the 19th of December. Now everyone's getting those dates filled up already. So they're moving things around. I saw where we had Boston College, Louisville postponed from Friday originally to later on in December. Now it's been moved back to this upcoming Saturday, a week from today. So keep your head on a swivel out there, football fans, because schedules are changing hourly.
Yeah, and that's why the ACC at the beginning of the season said it was going to be the win percentage would determine who gets to the ACC championship, just anticipating there might be cases where they can't get these games in at the end of the season.
Davis bring it back inside. I thought he might have had a little crease outside, but safe route. It's about 3 yards.
And this is a Pitt offense that is has been one of the worst rushing the football in the NCAA, but they've been efficient tonight.
Pickett with a little tunnel screen, and Taysir Mack is met.
Pass is complete to 11.
Tisdale was there from that linebacker spot. Johnny on the spot.
And last week, Tisdale did not get a lot of play in the game. Dax Hollifield actually filled in for him and had a great game last week. He had a sack, a tackle for loss. He had 13 tackles. Tisdale back in the game this week, recovered from that injury, and he's a very good ball player.
The clock just bleeding on this drive. Down inside of 2 minutes now in the 3rd quarter. Pickett back to throw again. Being pressured from the middle. He's going to keep it himself. Out of bounds at the 7. Breon Murray forced him out. That's going to be close to a first down. The officials are indicating Pickett picked up the yardage necessary. Coach Whipple there with a word or two for his quarterback.
Another great job by Kenny Pickett. Seems to be running better and better. A lot better than last week, coming off that ankle injury that made him sidelined for 2 games. And when he has his legs and as accurate as he is such a tough quarterback to defend. We may have seen this play already where they flip the tight ends, they bring the jet sweep, they bring the one tight end back and then hand it off.
Davis inside the 5. Momentum stopped at the 1.
We've now seen that play 3 times on these in this second half. That exact same shift, that exact same motion, bringing the tight end back, and it's just tough on a defense. And it's an inside zone play where Vincent Davis can go anywhere he wants across the line. So if there's any misfits, he can make them pay. So although you're running the same play over and over, it's not necessarily hitting the same exact hole where the defenders can get a key on it.
12th play of this drive. Ideal for the Panthers. Can they finish it off? Pickett's going to try and do it on his own. Waiting for the official signal. He's in.
Right up the back of his senior first team all-conference from 2019 center, Jimmy Morrissey. And they have the look up front to stop the quarterback sneak. That's the look you want. You want defensive tackles in both the A-gaps on the sides and the center. This Pitt offensive line, again, playing without 3 starters, has had a heroic effort here tonight.
Carson Van Lin, Matt Gonsalves, Jimmy Morrissey, Blake Zubovic. Fantastic job. Gabe Hoy. PAT is good. Panthers extend their lead.
Virginia Tech 14.
Taco Bell's Nachos Party Pack. Delicious nachos topped with all your favorites. Only at Taco Bell.
40-14. That really was the moment of the game when they were able to hold Virginia Tech out of the end zone on that 4th and goal. Then a 99-yard drive just sucked the air out of the Hokies at that point. Pitt has put the pedal down to the metal ever since.
How about Pitt tonight? Over 100-yard rushing, 374 through the air for Kenny Pickett. This is a Virginia Tech defense that is not used to having performances like this. And we still have a quarter of football to go. And what we're seeing now is Pitt's being able to be effective rushing the ball, which is absolutely phenomenal. They've struggled all year to run the football. But as this season goes on, as this game goes on, this offensive line is starting to gel a little bit.
Herbert from his own 4. He's going to give it a shot. Flag down as Herbert gets knocked out of bounds at the 30.
Herbert out of bounds and a flag.
We might have a late hit as well along the Pitt sideline.
Jerry Magallanes has been relatively busy tonight. As they sort this out, 14 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Long time-consuming touchdown drive for the Panthers on their last possession.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against Pittsburgh. During the return, holding number 4, 10-yard penalty from the end of the play. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, Pittsburgh, number 26. That penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
Judson to Landier with the hit out of bounds.
Correction on the fouls. Holding.
Ooh.
Return is against Virginia Tech, number 4. After the play.
Was that it? I think up here, yeah, I think we're going to get a better look at it here.
15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, here's Landier on the right. That's who they called the penalty on.
Yeah, I think there's a retaliation that comes just after that. Where I think we're going to get our best angle right here.
Because Brandon George laid the boom on Herbert just as he was going out of bounds. Might have been after he was out of bounds. He wasn't involved in either of the penalties, but 26 to Landier was. We just never really got a shot at it. I'll trust the officials on that one. They've got a better view of it than we do.
We'll see.
Virginia Tech first
Down 26 points. Do the Hokies start to air it out, or do they continue to keep it on the ground, which they've had some success on in the second half?
Elias, tight end, with a nice little pickup on first down. Clock temporarily stops with the first down, but that should do it for the 3rd quarter, and it does. Well, the Hokies are going to have to do a lot more of that in the 4th quarter if they want to get back into this game. Kenny Pickett, it's been his show tonight. And DJ Turner, too. Panthers up 40-14 as we head to the final stanza. Was a close game here at Heinz Field just moments ago. It seems that way anyway. 40-14 now. Pitt is really taking control of this game there in that 3rd quarter as we enter the 4th. Hendon Hooker now looking to make something happen quickly. The Hokies will try and mount a massive comeback. Hooker flushed. He'll run it. Does this well inside Panther territory and first down.
And this is the situation in games that a defensive line absolutely loves. They are going to try and tee off. They're going to try and pat their stats. That's what defensive linemen do, Chris. They want to pad their stats. They pressure him here. Hendon Hooker's able to escape. But guys like Patrick Jones, Shot Weaver, they are going after sacks in these situations. Watch these guys rush the passer.
That run, the Hokies still below 100 yards rushing for the game as a team. Hooker, pressure coming up the middle. He's sacked. Cam Bright got through, and the team that leads the nation in sacks picks up another one.
And Randy Bates is going to continue to dial up the pressure. He's not going to sit back and wait. And here, because the tight end blocks, Cam Bright triggers. Cam Bright had the tight end in man-to-man defense. When he blocks Patrick Jones, Cam Bright adds himself. That's why he's unblocked on that play.
Second of the game for Pitt, third sack of the year for Cam Bright. Second down and long, earned it. Hooker gets crunched.
Hooker down at the 50.
Near midfield, got back into Panther territory, but it's going to bring up a third and long.
And down 26 points, you don't want your quarterback, you want him fighting for every inch throughout this game. You want him to try to mount a comeback, but you do not want him taking big shots like that for the rest of this game.
Third and 13. And they're going to have to stop that when his contact was made at the line of scrimmage.
Number 8, Kalijah Cansey, tries to get a jump on the ball.
Offside defense with contact, number 8. 5-yard penalty, third down.
And he's a guy that I really like, honestly. I think he's your next Jordan Twyman, who opted out this year. They've had so many good defensive tackles, dare I say, Aaron Donald type, but he is an active he's an active D tackle, and I compare him to Aaron Donald because he's only 270 pounds. He's 6 foot. Aaron Donald also played undersized, very active, but I won't put that pressure on the young man.
Still third and long, third and 8. Pressure off the edge. Jones can't get him. Hooker's going to run and dives inside the 30 for the first.
For the first part of this game, the sack numbers were down for these defensive ends because they did a great job of not rushing past the passer. When you talk about rushing a mobile quarterback, you don't want to be driven by. Well, now that they're in tee-off mode, they're trying to get these sacks. Now Hendon Hooker's able to find some rush lanes on the scrambles.
Herbert gets through the hole, still on his feet, powering for additional yardage. All comes free, but the officials are going to blow this one dead.
Marquez Williams having some fun out there, and this Pitt defense is having some fun. So far tonight, only 2 scores given up. Great red zone stop early in the game. Kalijah Cansey's coming back in here, and we'll see how this talented Virginia Tech offensive line can pass protect throughout the rest of this game, and they're going to run the ball some. They're going to keep them honest, but they're going to have to throw if they want to get back in this game.
Picks up maybe a yard. Let's check in with Larisha Harris on the field.
Eric, you were talking about how this defensive side for Pitt is a very fun team. But when I was talking to defensive end Rashad Weaver, he told me that they could have a reality show, especially him and his roommate, Keyshawn Camp. He said, you know, it's a comedy show with those two. They're always laughing. That's his brother. Iron sharpens iron, but they love to have fun with each other.
It's a shame that Keyshawn Camp did not stay healthy. Missed all of last year. Missed really all but 4 games this year. Defender, but can't pick up the first down. It's obviously 4-down territory for the Hokies, and that's what they're going to face here.
Keyshawn Camp's a 5th-year senior. It'll be interesting. He is a pro prospect, maybe not graded as high as some of these other Pitt defensive linemen. It'll be interesting to see if he takes advantage of this COVID rule this year that would allow him to return back to school, and that's going to be coming to play for so many teams as this season comes to an end.
4th down and 4 for Hendon Hooker and the Hokies. Pitt brings this 4. Hooker can run with it if he wants to, and does. Has to spin away from a tackler. Brought down to the 20. Maybe just a little bit shy.
Man, I thought he had so much room to run out to the right side of the field. And he tried to make a try to make a quick move. James Mitchell was boxing out a defender in front of him, doing his best basketball impression, unable to make the play for the first down. This Pick offense is going to take over, and that's another great stop in the red zone by this Pitt defense. They have been extremely impressive tonight, putting pressure on Hendon Hooker and stopping this Virginia Tech run game.
All Pitt in the second half. 40-14 is our score with 10:59 left to go in this one. Senior day here at Heinz Field. Hendon Hooker just hasn't been able to get this team going offensively here in the second. Completely different story for Kenny Pickett and the Panthers. Brought down in the backfield. Nice play defensively by Connor.
It didn't work, but I love the play call. So you flip the tight ends again. We've mentioned that play a number of times, and then you fake the jet sweep over and over. This time you hand it off on the jet sweep. Yes, it's a loss on the play, but you now keep the defense honest when you get back to that. Now they can't simply key in on Davis at running back each time.
Kenny Pickett in no hurry to break the huddle. Sure that play clock is under 10 seconds before the snap. A.J. Davis on the carry. He picks up a couple.
All right, so 3rd and long. We're probably going to get a chance to throw the ball here. Do they go back to DJ Turner, who has the possibility of going after a couple records here tonight, Chris?
Yeah, the school record for receptions in a single game is 16. And Turner has 14 right now. The ACC record is 17 in a game. So within reach, although you certainly got to wonder how often from here on out Pickett's going to air it. But he is here, and there's Turner. Did he get a first down? He does. Another great individual effort by DJ Turner, and a fresh set of downs for the Panthers.
And how about this, Chris? You get DJ Turner, a transfer from Maryland. So the Big Ten says they're going to cancel football. And what does DJ Turner do? He's a ball player. He wants to play football. So he chooses to transfer to Pitt because his brother, Mark Hayes, a quarter century ago, played for Narduzzi when he was assistant coach at Rhode Island.
Yeah.
So that's where the relationship was cultivated. And then you end up getting a guy like DJ Turner who can show up on senior night and have 15 catches already.
An amazing night for Turner. Davis brought down for a loss.
And on that 3rd down conversion, that was an incredible effort on the tunnel screen to DJ Turner to pick it up. But you got to give a shout out to the offensive line. In unexpected circumstances, this is 2020. This is what happens. You go down 3 offensive linemen. Well, number 59, Carson Van Lin, with such a tough test, he steps in at left tackle. Matt Gonzalez, he steps up at left guard. You still have Jimmy Morrissey at center. Then at right guard, Zubovic. And then at right tackle, Gonzalez is at right tackle, Hargrove at left. Unbelievable effort by the offensive line.
Oh, and what would have been the record-tying reception for Turner sails through his arms. A little bit too much mustard on that one.
I would bet he doesn't understand the significance of that drive. I can't imagine with one season showing up in August at Pitt that he has any idea, unless our man EJ, the great sports information director at Pitt, unless he is down there feeding them stats. Yeah. He does not understand the significance of that drop.
Harry Orzalak holds the single game record at Pittsburgh in a game in 1968 against Penn State. My guess is that Pitt was probably way behind in that game and was having to throw the ball the entire second half. On 3rd and 10, A.J. Davis is going to come up shy from the conversion. And that will bring up 4th down. Presumably, Krista Dooley will come out, punt it away for the Panthers.
Run a draw play there. Virginia Tech's defense gets off the field. And back to return this punt is number 49, Will Cocovitas. And Justin Fuente has been running the scout team these last 2 weeks. He said he's had more fun than he has the rest of his coaching career running the scout team these last couple of weeks. And Will is a guy who stepped up on the scout team. Now he gets an opportunity to return a punt. Generally doesn't even travel with the team.
comes up and lets it bounce. Too much traffic, and Virginia Tech will take over from the 31. Flag on the play.
It's 4th and 5. If it was against the defense, it would move the chains.
Or it certainly would be cause for a possible measurement. Although I've never figured out how they do that.
Illegal formation defense.
Wow.
Number 30 was over the center at the snap. That's a 5-yard penalty, results in a first down.
Wow. They don't even have to measure. They already know a first down, so maybe another opportunity for DJ Turner.
Yeah,
to tie that record.
We're going to get a look at this. You cannot be lined up over the snapper. And so there's a snapper there, and we're going to get him right here, lined up over him, and that's just a critical mental error. And he's dropping out anyways. He's not even rushing. Unforced error by the Hokies gives Pitt a first down, gives them a chance to keep churning on this clock. With 7:26 to go, they get a fresh set of downs.
Kenny Pickett, who had 40 pass attempts in the first half. Only 11 in the second half, but he's been very efficient with those 11 attempts. Davis, midfield. Stiff arms the defender, gets out to about the 26. So a good run from the senior from Lakeland, Florida. Also celebrating senior night tonight.
All right, so you shift the tight ends over again, and this time, because you actually gave it to him, Jacques Louise, on the fly motion one time, now it keeps everybody honest. Great job blocking back across the formation by tight end number 80, Daniel Moraga. The Pittsburgh Panthers are finding their run game with a simple inside zone play, with a jet sweep motion and a wham block back by the tight end. They're really exposing this Virginia Tech front with this. Here we go again, Chris.
Jacques Louis in motion. Give to Davis again. Another good hold. Picks up 5.
Same motion, same shift, same fake to the wide receiver, and they are simply getting downhill. And at this point, it's almost offensive. Virginia Tech knows what's coming. And as an offensive line, you take pride in situations like this when you're trying to run the clock out at the end of the game, and the defense knows you're going to run it. You take pride in being able to impose your will on a defense and still be productive.
A.J. Davis has been battling a lot of minor injuries this year. Only had 140 yards rushing coming into this game for the season. So good to see number 21 for Pitt run on this drive. The opposite way, same play. This time Davis is met. Nowhere to go. Devin Taylor played it well, and his teammates helped clean it up.
Yes. Virginia Tech stops it for a 1-yard gain here. And, you know, it's almost comical that you run the same play over and over again. But when it's inside, it's comical because it's the same shift and same motion. A lot of times teams will run, and if you're a zone running team, you'll run inside zone over and over and over, because there you see Davis, he keeps the ball play side. On all the other ones, he was cutting it back, cutting it right inside the block back of their tight end. There he keeps it play side and gets stuffed at the point of attack.
3rd down and 4 on a drive that was extended by a penalty on Virginia Tech when Pitt was trying to punt it away. Davis lowers his shoulder. Gets maybe a couple. It'll bring up 4th down. 4th down and 2. This will be a decision for Narduzzi as to whether he decides to go for it and run some more clock, or bring in Alex Kessman, who's already had a huge night.
Yeah, they are. They're going to run the ball here, or they're going to go for it here. This is actually a chance for DJ Turner potentially. If they overload the box, Kenny Pickett, if he is in the shotgun, he could throw out of it and possibly get him that record-setting catch.
Turner is in the slot. On the top of your screen, actually split wide. Pickett decides to hit his tight end inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line.
And the pass complete.
That time it was the tight end Jake Zielinskis.
Hard play action here. Offensive line does a great job of selling it, and he's able to sneak right out of the backfield. Easy throw, easy first down as this clock continues to churn. It's going to be under the 4-minute mark when this next play is snapped. And like I mentioned, this is a pride drive for this offensive line, and this is something that offensive line coach Dave Corbally has to be taking a ton of pride in, to get a group like this ready for a game and have them show up in such a way.
Pitt has had two just incredibly long, time-consuming drives here in this second half. Just thwarted any chance that Virginia Tech thought they might have had to get back into it.
Number 7, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So he's not perfect. DJ Turner, false start.
Well, he's trying to get them back away from where they can run it in so that they have to get it back to let Davis continue to try to find the holes up there. On that play, prior to the offsides by DJ Turner, there was penetration up front, and that's what this Virginia Tech defensive line needs to do to stop that play. They need to create penetration in the backfield so that Davis does not, he can't go from tight end to tackle on the backside and pick and choose where he wants to go.
Davis lowers his shoulder and gets right down to the goal line. He's going to come up just about 2 feet short.
Watch the offensive line on this play, and they actually run a tackle over. So they move their tackle to tight end on the other side. Davis does a great job of pressing it front side, cuts up through the middle of the defense, brings them down the 1-yard line. Now, under 3 minutes to go in this game, this clock just continues to churn on this 12-play drive.
12 play and counting here, he would. This is 2 drives in a row that have hit the dozen mark. Led that fourth quarter clock dry. Give to Davis, who crashes across the goal line. His first touchdown of the year. So big moment for the senior from Lakeland, Florida, and extends that Pitt lead.
A.J. Davis, the 215-pound back, powers it through the middle of that Virginia Tech defense. And Pat Arduzzi is extremely excited on that sideline. And if you're Pitt in this moment, Chris, you're probably thinking the what-if game. What if Kenny Pickett doesn't get hurt? What if NC State doesn't beat us on a last-second throw? We lose to Boston College in overtime. There's so many what-ifs on what could have been just an absolutely remarkable season.
The way it stands, Pitt's in good shape here. Pick up win number 5 on the year. Up big.
Ball is presented by Geico. You could save even more by bundling home and car insurance.
All Pitt tonight. Close to a record-setting performance by DJ Turner. 15 catches on the night. Kenny Pickett, 404 yards and a couple of touchdowns through the air. Had 1 on the ground. The Panthers have had 2 scoring drives here. Their last 2 drives, 6 minutes and 47 seconds, 8 minutes and 20 seconds.
That's imposing your will on a defense by an offensive line that has been so resilient through these last couple weeks, dealing with 3 starters out on the night.
Herbert from his own goal line. That's Blackshear, rather. Taken down at the 23. Virginia Tech will take over when we come back. All Panthers here.
And then this bomb to DJ Turner on the 99-yard drive that was the backbreaker for the Hokies.
How about 3 moments? Make the third one a box of Bojangles chicken up here in the booth. I'm not afraid of it.
You can use some chicken for the road.
I know you could, driving back to Louisville. Look at Pickett's numbers on the day. 400 yards. A couple of touchdowns. Did have that 1 pick in the first half.
Great job by him getting back in a rhythm after that, though. He makes a critical error in the first quarter, and then from that point on, almost perfect throughout the game.
Quincy Patterson now at QB for Virginia Tech.
And this is a Virginia Tech team that the last 2 weeks have dealt with absolutely heartbreaking losses. You have the muffed punt inside your own 5-yard line. You lose to Liberty by 3 points. And then last week, you lead Miami, top 10 team. You lead Miami for 54 minutes of the game and end up losing by 1 point. And then this, to cap it off, has been a tough 3-week stretch for the Hokies.
Holston with the run close to the first down. Yeah, tough 3-week stretch. Now they get next week off, and then they play Clemson on the 5th.
That's a tough one.
At home, but boy,
yeah,
it's a tough stretch.
And I hate, you can play this game with everyone around college football, but how much fun would that Clemson game in Blacksburg be? You get top 5 team in the country. Enter Sandman coming out of the tunnel, and that's the pageantry of college football that's truly missed this year.
Here on the screen, he'll pick up the first down.
And this is a Pitt Panthers team that's sitting at 5-4 now, and they got Clemson. They got Clemson next week.
Right, they're at Clemson next week.
Yeah. So both these teams' next opponent's going to be Clemson. Interesting.
Player injured on the play. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back momentarily. Don't go anywhere. Big game to Pickett. Turner had. As Pitt is inside a minute now, improving to 5-4 on the year.
Really impressive by the senior quarterback, Kenny Pickett, tonight on senior night. Can't say enough about him. And this Pitt defense stepped up, and they hold them to 14 points for the game, 0 second-half points for the Hokies.
Final stop. Harrison with the carry. First down will temporarily stop the clock, but officials will crank it back up. Our final score, Pitt 47, Virginia Tech 14. Both teams now have Clemson on the schedule next. Pitt will travel to Death Valley next Saturday. Virginia Tech a week off for the Hokies, and Coach Fuente before Clemson comes to Lane Stadium on December 5th. Big day for the Pitt passing game. Looked like Virginia Tech might get back in.